to the Detroit Tigers yesterday in Game 4 of the American League Division Series. We pick up the action in the fourth.
Swinging a ground ball, chopping over to the shortstop Baez. A little underhand flip to second, on to first base. It is in time for the double play. It does score Naylor from third. The Mariners would have loved to get more. That's out number 2. First 2 outs of the inning, rather. And the Mariners now lead it 2-0.
Very tough. In the fifth, the M's would make it to 3-0, but the Tigers would score 9 unanswered runs. So the series moves back to T-Mobile Park in Seattle for a divisive, Game 5 on Friday. First pitch at 5:08. You can catch all the action on our sister station. There's an investigation into a car theft scheme in Port Angeles that leads a suspect wanted on 57 counts of fraud in California. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Rafferty reports.
59-year-old Christopher Asher bought a car earlier this year using a check for a down payment. Problem was that check bounced after he left the dealership. When Clallam County Sheriff's deputies caught up with him, he admitted he didn't pay, and they soon realized he was wanted in several other cases in California. Police there say he used forged documents to get a dealer's license, getting cars from legitimate dealers with fake checks and quickly selling them to unsuspecting victims. Investigators say the fraud stretches back at least 3 years. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police arrest an intoxicated man following a dangerous situation at Seattle World School. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Police say the man was walking his 2 dogs just before 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when, for reasons unknown, he pushed his way past a security guard at the school. When he was forced to leave, he allegedly pulled a gun on a teenager. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Part of the investigation to determine whether or not he was armed while he went inside of the school, but we do know that he left the school shortly after, pointed a gun at that kid. So yes, this is a very dangerous situation.
The 60-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of burglary and felony harassment of a teen. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
In response to President Trump's intent to send National Guard troops to cities like Portland and Chicago, Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell signed 2 executive orders on Wednesday.
President Trump is unilaterally ramping up his military occupation of American cities.
One order ensures legal readiness if federal troops are sent to Seattle. The other increases transparency in immigration enforcement, including banning masked officers and restricting ICE operations on city land. Trump has described Portland as war-ravaged. We've also reached out to Harrell's opponent, Katie Wilson, for comment. But the federal shutdown continues, with both sides pointing at each other and illustrating the East-West divide in Washington. Democrat Representative Adam Smith represents the 9th District in the Puget Sound region and wants to talk health care subsidies. He spoke with MSNBC.
If you want to negotiate health care subsidies, if you want to negotiate tax policy, if you want to negotiate anything, you can do it right now.
Representative Michael Baumgardner represents the 5th District in Spokane. He spoke to Fox Business.
What it's about is the Democrats trying to show their base that they can fight hard against President Trump.
The House passed a clean continuing resolution. It has not passed in the Senate. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Drive times right now pretty average. Everett to Seattle about 23 right now. Linwood to Seattle 15. Marysville to Seattle about 35 right now. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Thursday morning, we've got some low cloud coverage. Highs today will be in the mid-60s. Right now, it's about 50 in downtown Seattle. And coming up, CBS Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes on the latest update with the government shutdown. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If you use the carpool lanes along SR 167 after October 20th, you will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Democratic and Republican lawmakers in the Capitol still failing to come to an agreement on a funding bill for the country, and there's no clear resolution in sight.
Joining us now with the latest is CBS Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes. Let's start with the back pay issue. This came out during our show yesterday, Nancy, from the White House's Office of Management and Budget, suggesting the 750,000 furloughed workers are not being confirmed back pay for their time out of work. Can you sort this out for us?
I think that is by and large a negotiating tactic or an effort to put pressure on Democrats by the White House, because once this came out, Republican leaders on Capitol Hill were pretty quick to say, actually, they want all federal workers to get back pay, whether they've been furloughed, whether they're considered essential workers. And in fact, Congress feels so strongly about that after the last shutdown 5 years ago, they passed a law saying that all federal workers get back pay in the event of another shutdown. And so, you know, the White House may have gotten out a little ahead of the rest of its party on this one. Certainly there was support from some corners on Capitol Hill for that, but by and large, Democrats and Republicans seem to be in agreement that federal workers shouldn't have to be worried, on top of the fact that they may miss paychecks, that then they won't be made whole afterwards.
Nancy, what's the mood inside the White House right now? Do they think they're winning this?
I wouldn't say anyone feels like they're winning. I think everyone knows that, that Washington, official Washington, is not going to be covered in glory at the end of this. And certainly it's alarming that we're starting to see flight delays at major airports around the country as controllers call in sick in larger numbers than usual. You see closed signs at museums. People are going to feel the effects of this shutdown in myriad ways. So while, yes, everyone is trying to win the messaging war, I think they also recognize that nobody's going to, win at the end of the day in the eyes of the public. And there's a great deal of uncertainty about who actually has the upper hand here. Typically you would say the party in power gets more blame in the event of a shutdown. In this case, the White House, is trying very hard. Republicans are trying very hard to make it clear that it's Democrats who are holding out, Democrats in the Senate who are not voting to fund the government because they're holding out for concessions on health care. Democrats think health care is a winning issue. So, I'm not sure that there's going to be a clear winner and a clear loser at the end of the day.
The president was asked specifically about the back pay issue yesterday. How'd he respond?
He had a really unusual response. He said, well, it depends. Some workers will get back pay and some workers won't. And some people don't deserve it. And so they won't get paid. Again, that is not the position of congressional leaders. There's nothing in that 2019 bill that says some people get paid, some people don't. There's a hierarchy of who deserves it and who doesn't. So it seemed like he was kind of speaking off the cuff and, again, trying to create an open question about whether people will get paid in the hopes that will place more pressure on Democrats to give up their fight over Obamacare premiums and pressure them to go ahead and vote yes to fund the government because they're so worried that perhaps some of the federal workers they support won't get back pay. I'm not sure that the Democrats are really buying that that's actually going to happen right now.
Nancy, it seems as if Democrats have an unlikely ally in their complaints about Affordable Care Act premiums. We heard yesterday from Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican from Georgia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. And she said, she's no Obamacare fan, but she doesn't want to see the premiums of her constituents going up by 50%. And that is what is going to happen for millions of people if Congress doesn't deal with these lapsing subsidy premiums and so premium subsidies. And so there are a number of Republicans who agree with her and who have quietly said, why don't we negotiate now? We know we're going to have to deal with this issue. Maybe we should just go ahead and do it. And in fact, the president himself for a short period the other day seemed to say that he was open to talking about it. He said, we're talking to Democrats, we're making progress on this issue. And then his Republican counterparts on the Hill quickly said, no, we're not. We are not talking to Democrats about this. We're not negotiating. And then he put out a Truth Social post later clarifying, we're not talking about it until after the government is reopened. But as this drags on, there is going to be a cadre of House Republicans, maybe Senate Republicans, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who say, look, we know we're going to have to deal with this anyway. Why not at least start talking about it now? Because these subsidies are going to run out really soon.
CBS Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, thank you.
You're welcome.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Thursday morning, some showers so far. It'll be mostly cloudy this afternoon with highs in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 50 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, Charlie Harger with a commentary on the danger of making everything political. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things will change after October 20th, and some things won't. If you ride without a Good-to-Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good-to-Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at proscope.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's proscope.com.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call RoofSmart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call RoofSmart today at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about scouting.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools to help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20. Head to the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO Newsradio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. President Donald Trump's announcement that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a ceasefire deal was widely welcomed by world leaders and the families of hostages and Palestinians who have endured more than 2 years of war. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
The president calling this historic and unprecedented and thanking and crediting the negotiators and the mediators who helped make this possible, including those from Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey who worked with the U.S. during these peace talks this week in Egypt. Of course, the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and his son-in-law and Mideast advisor during the first term, Jared Kushner, were there in person.
Here in Washington, the mayor of Auburn says she was blindsided this week. Mayor Nancy Backus says the city found out through reports the so-called South Hill rapist moved to Auburn. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has more.
That is not the way a local jurisdiction should find out that a level 3 sex offender has been released into their community.
Mayor Nancy Backus is talking about rapist Kevin Coe. He was released last week after his health deteriorated to the point a judge said he could no longer needed to be held. Coe was convicted of a single rape charge back in the 80s, but investigators believe he may be tied to dozens more between the 70s and the 80s.
A 29-year-old Auburn man accused of breaking into the state capitol building has been charged. On Sunday night, prosecutors say troopers found Gunnar Schubert climbing out of a window, but not before doing significant damage. Trooper Jermaine Walker.
Statues being overturned, rugs and flags being burned, glass being broken. So the damage was fairly significant.
Troopers say the incident wasn't politically motivated and may be linked to mental health issues. Schubert was arrested at the scene and released on his own recognizance. He's due back in court tomorrow. In Issaquah, police have arrested a 22-year-old man in connection with a string of hate-motivated graffiti incidents across the city.
Since last December, swastikas and other hateful symbols, along with anti-Semitic slurs, have been found on trails, tunnels, underpasses, and in other public places. Detectives say the suspect is linked to at least a dozen acts of vandalism. Police say hate has no home in Issaquah and that this arrest marks an important step toward accountability and healing.
That was KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reporting. The Mariners had a 3-run lead, then let it slip away. Things were going well for the M's in the second inning.
And the pitch on the way to Canzone, swinging a ground ball, base hit into right field. Nailed it to third, being waved in. Up with the ball is Carpenter. The throw to the plate is not in time. Naylor scores, standing up. The throw was wide. Dingler, the catcher, had to go get the throw. And Dom Canzone with a 2-out RBI single. And the Mariners have the lead 1-0. Here in the top half of the second.
They put up 2 more runs before Detroit roared back with 9 unanswered runs of their own to win Game 4 of the ALDS, 9-3. That means it's all on the line tomorrow in Seattle. First pitch at 5:08. You can hear all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. Now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Tacoma to Seattle, about 27 minutes right now. Puyallup to Renton, about 18. Everett to Bellevue, about 23. Marysville to Seattle, about 33 minutes. And for your forecast, some showers this morning. It will be mostly cloudy this afternoon with highs in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 50 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
It's time for this morning's commentary. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but when I heard someone smashed into our state capitol Sunday night, my first thought wasn't, I hope nobody got hurt. It was, I wonder what side the guy was on. Because that could go either way politically, far right-wing rage or extreme left-wing destruction. Let me be clear, I didn't need to know which side the guy was on to know how I felt, because it's all beyond the pale. Violence is violence, wrong is wrong. But my brain immediately went to politics, to teams, to scorekeeping. That's sick. That's what this moment has done to us. Someone knocked over statues, burned flags, torched a priceless rug, and my first instinct was to figure out the political angle. The lieutenant governor immediately condemned it as part of the significant escalation in violence-tinged political rhetoric. Everyone assumed it was political violence. Then State Patrol released their findings. Mental health crisis, not political. But here's what tells you everything about 2025. We all assumed it was political. Someone attacks a government building, and we don't think troubled person needs help. We think, which side was he on? And I'm a mild case. I watch maybe 45 minutes of cable news a week. I can't imagine what it's like for people mainlining Fox News or MSNBC every night. If my brain is this trained to see everything through a political lens, what's happening to theirs? Because here's the thing. We're usually right to assume it is political, because look around. Political assassinations, targeted arsons, church shootings. This year just keeps erupting. It's the big violence that makes headlines, but watch how we treat the small stuff. A signature gatherer gets shoved. A pride flag gets stolen. Someone's Tesla gets keyed because Elon. The car with the Black Lives Matter bumper sticker gets flipped off. And what's the response? Oh, well, violence is never the answer. I condemn it completely. And then comes the but. But those initiatives are hateful. But that candidate is dangerous. But they are destroying democracy. Always a but that really means different rules for different teams. When did we decide the rules don't apply to people we disagree with? I've covered news for decades, and this year feels different, like we're unraveling. Each unpleasant or violent act just justifies the next. Each side convinced they're just defending themselves. Leaders say to turn down the temperature. Well, how? When everyone thinks they're the victim, when everyone thinks their violence is justified. Meanwhile, those of us outside the extremes, we go to work, we raise our kids, we try to pretend things are normal. But that knot in your stomach, that dread, we all feel it. But here's what I keep telling myself. The fact that I'm embarrassed by my first thought means I'm not completely lost. The fact that it bothers me means I can still see what's wrong with this picture. The extremes want us to pick a side in their fight, almost to accept violence as inevitable, to stop being shocked. No. This is still our beautiful and flawed country where we can all get along. The center holds when we hold it, one conversation at a time, one refusal to hate the other side at a time, even when our first thought is tribal, especially then.
Coming up, we'll have national headlines. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
Is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
Making an Impact, sponsored by Grainger. Camp Homeward Bound was started 41 years ago to offer New York City homeless kids a place to belong. Sissy Johnson remembers when she first arrived.
As I grew up in the shelter, I realized that I didn't have an actual home. Coming to camp made me realize that this camp could be my home.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
CBS News Special Report. Champagne corks popping in Israel after word of an agreement between Israel and Hamas on the first phase of President Trump's peace deal for Gaza. Prime Minister Netanyahu says he'll convene his cabinet for its stamp of approval today. The BBC's Yolande Nell on what happens after that.
Following the Israeli troop withdrawal, we should have a 72-hour window. That is the time when Hamas is expected to bring back all of the hostages. They should be 20, believed to still be alive, and the bodies of many of the deceased.
Mona Yakubian at the Center for Strategic and International Studies on possible roadblocks.
It's going to be very hard to achieve the demilitarization of Gaza, which is what the 20-point agreement calls for. So the devil is always in the details. To what extent is Hamas going to be willing to give up its arms?
CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, some showers this morning. It will be mostly cloudy this afternoon with highs in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 50 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, former State Attorney General Rob McKenna explains the Insurrection Act and why President Trump may try to invoke it. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking tracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Well, the standoff continues between the White House and Democratic-led cities over the deployment of National Guard troops, with reports hundreds of troops are arriving in Chicago again this morning.
And yesterday, President Trump left open the possibility he would invoke the centuries-old Insurrection Act in order to flex his executive power and deploy troops at will. Joining us now to explain is former State Attorney General Rob McKenna.
Rob, can you just start by telling us what is the Insurrection Act?
So the Insurrection Act of 1807 is a U.S. federal law that empowers the United States president to nationally deploy the U.S. military and federalize the National Guard in specific circumstances, such as, I'm quoting here now from an article about it, the suppression of civil disorder, of insurrection, and of armed rebellion against the federal government of the United States. So I went and looked at the original act from 1807. It's only one paragraph long, but it says that in all cases of insurrection or obstruction to the laws, either of the United States or any individual state, where it is lawful for the president of the United States to call forth the militia for the purpose of suppressing such insurrection, it shall be lawful for him to employ, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is a law that's been on the books. It is an exception to the Posse Comitatus Act, which we've talked about before. That prohibits the use of the military for civilian law enforcement. So it's an exception to Posse Comitatus. It is rarely invoked. The last time it was invoked was by President George H.W. Bush during the riots in L.A. following the Rodney King incident. And he was asked to send in help by the governor at that time. So it's where it's been used, which has been infrequent. It's been, until now, at the request of a governor who needs more help.
The president has used the word insurrection several times over the past week, so have many of his closest advisors. We hear that on the national newscast. What are the steps and what are the safeguards here, Rob? If the president wants to declare an insurrection, what process is needed and what could possibly prevent it?
Well, the frequent use of the word insurrection by the president, by Stephen Miller and others is, I think, part of a strategy to lay the legal foundation for citing invoking the Insurrection Act. And, it'll be up to federal judges. Now, we've had a federal judge in Oregon who is a Trump appointee from his first administration and a bona fide conservative write a very impassioned opinion saying, no, there is no rebellion. This is a threat to democracy when the president calls up the National Guard for law enforcement purposes without adequate justification. And at the same time in Chicago, so far, the courts have not blocked the federalized National Guard from coming in. I think these are units from Texas. And so it really does raise this important question of the role of the courts. And the district courts here that are considering these cases, these are the trial courts, and as trial courts, they weigh the facts and the law. So they apply the facts to the law to decide, in this case, do the facts support invoking the Insurrection Act? And it's tricky for them because, they want to maintain their legitimacy. They know that if they rule against the president, he'll claim it was a political ruling. And so, in Oregon, the judge decided, no, I'm going to make this judgment, which of course can be appealed. And as we've talked about before, it's only a ruling on a preliminary injunction, right? It's temporary. There needs to be a full-blown trial, and there can be an appeal from that. But temporarily, this judge, Judge Emmerhoff in Oregon, has said, look, looking at the law with the language of the Insurrection Act, looking at the Pars Comitatus law, and looking at the facts, which involve, dozens of people trying to block activities at the ICE Center in Portland. Similarly, dozens of people trying to block access to the ICE facility in Broadview, Illinois, outside of Chicago. In Oregon, the judge said, I think this doesn't rise to the level of an insurrection.
Obviously, that is going to be appealed, though. So how does that affect the process? If it's under appeal, could that be a way around for the president?
Well, if the president wins the appeal and the district court's ruling is overturned, then the temporary injunction would be lifted, and then presumably it would be remanded. The issue would be remanded back to the district court for a full trial, and then that ruling could go back up to the appellate court on a fully developed record. Remember, when the parties run into district court for a preliminary injunction or to oppose a preliminary injunction or temporary restraining order, you've got some briefs, you've got some facts asserted in the briefs. It's pretty thin. It's not the same thing as having a full-blown proceeding with developed evidence, witnesses, et cetera, that the judge can then make a ruling on, and then that can be appealed up. So it's very different in a preliminary situation, and this makes it all the more challenging for the district courts to issue their rulings and make the right call on a temporary basis.
But Rob, the Supreme Court has indicated time and time again is giving the president broad latitude. I'm finding it hard-pressed to believe, should it make it to the Supreme Court, they would say, oh, no, not this time. You can't possibly do the Insurrection Act. How's my legal analysis there?
It is possible. I don't think the Supreme Court would have overturned the use of federal troops in L.A. in 92. Because of the facts in that case. It was widespread civil unrest. The governor was asking for help, et cetera. Here, you have the president in opposition to Democratic governors, and you have much smaller civil unrest focused on a few ICE facilities. The facts being as different as they are, I could imagine the Supreme Court saying the Insurrection Act can't be invoked here. But it is a very conservative court, and several of the conservatives seem to be focused on, giving the executive branch more power and not using the courts to rein them in on issues like this.
Rob, thank you. We always appreciate your help sorting these things out. It does get complicated, doesn't it? Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna. Thanks, as always, for your time.
Thank you.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, some showers this morning. It will be mostly cloudy this afternoon with highs in the low 60s. Right now, it's 50 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
As things escalate in Portland,
It looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next?
It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO News Radio YouTube page.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Do you need glasses or contacts and you're now at the age where you also need readers? K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to eliminate the need for all those. Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. Andy, for those nearing age 50 or so, refractive lens exchange can be a great alternative to LASIK.
That's right, Joe. K2 Vision RLE is a terrific permanent solution for a lifetime of great vision. The older we get, we experience the dysfunction of our natural lens, which affects both distance vision and requires the use of reading glasses. Plus, after K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
And like LASIK, K2 Vision RLE is quick and painless. The question is, which procedure is right for you?
After replacing more than 100,000 failing lenses, we have the experience to tell you if it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consultation with us about K2 Vision RLE to get your eyes seeing young again. Permanently.
Go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Holly Rod Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
We are all about your experience.
We are Subaru of Puyallup, your
Stress-free
dealership.
Treat yourself to a stress-free car buying experience with Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. People in Khan Yunis are celebrating a newly agreed-to peace plan for Gaza. President Trump made the announcement both Israel and Hamas had signed off on his proposal. This Palestinian man spoke through an interpreter.
Thank God for the ceasefire, the end of the killing. All of Gaza is happy, all of the Arab world is happy, and all the world is happy.
The sentiment the same in Israel.
Israelis danced at Hostage Square in Tel Aviv, which has been the center of the public protests for a ceasefire that would return the hostages. Rachel Goldberg-Poland, whose son Hirsch was killed in Hamas captivity, welcomed the deal.
Filled with prayer and anticipation. We are just saying thank you.
Linda Gradstein for CBS News, Jerusalem.
The agreement calls for all hostages, dead and alive, to be returned by Monday. Israel's government is scheduled to vote on the agreement in a couple of hours from now. More from correspondent Natalie Brand.
The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's put out a statement saying he spoke to President Trump by phone last night and also invited him to address Israel's parliament, the Knesset. The president has floated going to the Middle East as early as later this weekend.
National Guard troops have been activated in Chicago as a federal court gets set to hear lawsuits today to try to stop them. CBS's Ian Lee is at an ICE facility just west of the city.
The National Guard has begun its detail at this ICE detention facility in Broadview. Late last night, the president filed a response in the case against Illinois, saying that he has broad authority to deploy the National Guard and that the state should not block the operations.
We are now in day 9 of a government shutdown, and it's getting more difficult for thousands of federal workers to pay their bills. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
If you have an emergency reserve fund, this is an emergency. Tap that fund. You may need to borrow money. Maybe you own a house. You can have a line of credit on your house. Maybe you look at your retirement account as a source.
The impasse continues on Capitol Hill. CBS News has looked into 90 images from the day convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. Correspondent Scott McFarlane.
An investigation of jail cell photos by CBS News, working with forensic experts, has raised serious questions about the New York Medical Examiner and the FBI's work, including a failure to preserve the scene, log evidence, and run basic forensic tests.
Silver prices hit their highest in a decade. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
It is 6:03. Good morning. Let's start with a check on traffic. Chris Sullivan is back. Good morning.
Good morning, Amanda. It's good to be here, and we are looking at a pretty decent drive today. There is one unusual bit of slowing. That's southbound I-5 right around the Duwamish curve, getting towards interurban there. We have a crash in 2 right lanes, have a little bit of a backup behind it, maybe plan on 5 extra minutes. If you're heading from Seattle down into Tukwila or South Center or headed to the airport, looking at northbound 167, it's normal self because of the lane restrictions in Pacific. Got about a 55-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is not too bad, only 15 minutes there. There is some spillover and some diversion on northbound I-5. We do have some brake lights in Fife, but 20 minutes to Federal Way. Not too bad. Across the lake, we're still good. Coming down from the north end, under 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Olympia to Tacoma, no problem. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service, 98 years, servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone or visit suplinen.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning. It is 6:04 on your Thursday morning. Here we are. The Mariners will host Game 5 of the American League Division Series back here in Seattle tomorrow. They narrowly missed a chance to clinch the series with Detroit. They ended up losing 9-3. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with a preview of the big game, which is win or go home.
I'm sorry I had to put the 9-3 in the script there.
There's a different feeling to this morning, isn't there?
All of you listening as well, I'm sure. Let me just paint a picture for you. So I walk in the newsroom and it's dead quiet, and we've been silent until we got into the studio because we knew we had to talk about this.
You're lucky I got out of bed.
Let me just set the mood. Okay, there are 5 stages of grief, everybody: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So which one are we on? Have we been angry already?
I've accepted. I'm at acceptance.
Really? You're at acceptance.
It's crazy to me because everything is still in front of them. We were saying earlier this week, like, yeah, you want to win. You were even saying this, Luke, earlier. Yesterday, you were like, do we want them to win yesterday, that being today when you said it, or do you want them to win on Friday in front of the home crowd? And we were all saying, no, we want them to win on the road. But I mean, being in front of the home crowd, they have it all there. They can win it still.
So you're past depression, maybe as well.
I am trying to actively pull myself out of it.
Sully, feel free to jump in here too, wherever you are. Let's talk this out. We should have like a call in, that's just talking. We can't do that.
I think it was basically we knew this was going to happen at some point, being Seattle fans were so used to being disappointed. No, I mean, I'm like, yeah, whatever. One game to win it all. Go for it.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's all right there. Yesterday was terrible, but oh well. Let's go play.
All right, let's focus on the good then. The M's did have a 3-0 lead into the 5th, and we thought we had it in the bag.
And the pitch on the way to Canzone, swinging a ground ball, base hit into right field. Nailed it to third, being waved in. Up with the ball is Carpenter. The throw to the plate is not in time. Naylor scores, standing up.
More of that, please. We won't talk about the final score anymore, but let's just talk, moving forward. First pitch of Game 5 is 5:08 at T-Mobile Park on Friday. There are great seats available still on the resale market. On SeatGeek, the lowest is about $225 in the 300s, anywhere from $540 to up to $3,000 near home plate, and really hovering around the $500 or $6 mark for everywhere else. One of the big storylines of the game, though, for Friday, the M's faced Tigers ace pitcher Tarek Skubal. Polanco, though, hit those 2 shots.
We have his number already.
Yeah, we got him. I think we can beat him. So here's what we're going to do. This morning and today, we're going to climb out of this funk. We're going to do it. Identify where you are on the grief meter, and we're going to find a way out. We're going to do it together. And as the Mariners say this postseason, we're going to seize the moment.
And a Game 5 at home is great for the local economy.
That's right.
Right?
We'll focus on that, too.
All right. Thanks, Luke. It's now 6:07. Some developing news this morning. Seattle police are investigating a shooting in South Seattle. This happened just after 11 last night near South Winthrop Street and Chesty Boulevard. Officers found a 40-year-old man with serious injuries to his head and face. Seattle Fire treated him at the scene and took him to Harborview. Police collected evidence and took photos, and right now they don't have a suspect. If you know anything, you are asked to call police. And the mayor of Auburn is responding to a convicted serial rapist moving to her city. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Mayor Nancy Backus is talking about rapist Kevin Coe.
I'm furious already because it's in our city. But to have that additional fear of harm to a loved one is just beyond fathoming. And whatever we can legally do to correct that, we're going to do.
Last week when he was released, we were told he was headed to Federal Way, a place where the city knew he was coming, and a notification campaign was done. But we're now told by the King County Sheriff's Office, after pushback from that community, they chose to move him to Auburn.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It is 6:08. Thanks for being with us on this Thursday morning. It's October 9th. Charlie has the rest of the week off. I'm Manda Factor. Chris Sullivan is back. Nice to see you.
Good to be here.
Checking the roads every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too bad today.
All right. Producer
Little
David.
rain, though.
Yeah, I know. It was nice to wake up to, actually. Get the smoke out of here. Producer David Burbank is here. Katrina Gashard at the news desk, and Nick Kreisha is at the control room running the board this morning. Nick, how did you let that happen yesterday?
Yeah, it's all my fault, right? Yeah.
That's okay. We're going to be positive and move on. It's just one game to win, and we're in. Well, this hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. And coming up, CBS's Robert Berger is in Jerusalem with the latest on the initial ceasefire deal struck between Israel and Hamas. And News Nation's Tom Dempsey on the government shutdown now on day number 9. It's 6:09. Seattle School Board says no to bringing police back to Garfield High. The vote came after nearly 2 hours of debate Wednesday night. It would have been a one-year pilot program. Luke Ducey is covering this. He'll have more coming up at 6:30. Seattle police arrested an intoxicated man following a dangerous situation at Seattle World School. We get the details from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
Police say the man was walking his two dogs just before 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when, for reasons unknown, he pushed his way past a security guard at the school. When he was forced to leave, he allegedly pulled a gun on a teenager. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Part of the investigation to determine whether or not he was armed while he went inside of the school, but we do know that he left the school shortly after, pointed a gun at that kid. So yes, this is a very dangerous situation.
The 60-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of burglary and felony harassment of a teen. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A 29-year-old Auburn man accused of breaking into the state capitol building has now been charged. Sunday night, prosecutors say troopers found Gunnar Schubert climbing out of a window, but not before doing significant damage. Here's Trooper Jermaine Walker.
Statues being overturned, rugs and flags being burned, glass being broken, so the damage was fairly significant.
Troopers say the incident wasn't politically motivated and may be linked to mental health issues. Schubert was arrested at the scene and released on his own recognizance. He's due back in court tomorrow. Seattle police arrested 2 suspects after an armed robbery near South Lake Union on Tuesday night. A man was assaulted and robbed at gunpoint along Terry Avenue North. Officers quickly tracked down the 20 and 24-year-old suspects nearby and recovered a firearm. Both are now facing robbery charges. A 78-year-old Bellevue man is out on bail following his arrest for possession of child porn. Bellevue police were called to do a welfare check on Richard Rolette. When he opened the door, they say they could see images of child sexual abuse on his desk, and he allegedly admitted he had large quantities, including much more in a storage unit. Here's Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
The age of this individual, I think, is older than maybe we typically see. I certainly can't remember someone of a similar age.
Felony charges include possession of depictions of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct and viewing depictions of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct. King County is speeding things up in the courtroom. Prosecuting attorney Lisa Mannion says her office will now decide on charges within 30 days. That's for adult felonies and any case involving a juvenile suspect. The new rule kicked in October 1st. Douglas Wagner, again with the office, says cases get harder to prove the longer they sit. He says quicker decisions help victims and suspects know what's coming. Looks like we'll have another big closure on the east side this weekend. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors details the southbound 405 closure between Bellevue and Renton.
WashDOT continues their onslaught of road work before the deluge of fall rains arrive, and that includes another full closure of southbound 405, starting at Cold Creek Parkway down to Northeast 30th. Crews will be busy all weekend with drainage work, excavating, paving, and a traffic switch. The closures start Friday night at midnight through 4 a.m. Monday. A detour sends drivers to Cold Creek Parkway. We can also expect heavier than normal volumes on southbound I-5 through Seattle. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
It is 6:12. Time for a check on the weather. Wet roads this morning. Our forecast is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. And time to say good morning to KIRO 7's Nick Allard.
Good morning. We got some rain, mainly around, say, like Seattle, east and north, but a little bit of that in Pierce County as well. We've had some showers for sure south of there, but there really isn't that much left. As the morning goes on, you'll see showers along, say, King County east and north to the border. And then as the afternoon goes on, there might be a few showers by lunchtime from Everett north. And then this afternoon and evening, I think will be mainly dry, but it does look cloudy or mostly cloudy. I don't think you're going to see much of a change there, and cool again with highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s. So not much in the way. It's sunshine today, but at least the afternoon is going to be drier. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow we see a few showers in the morning, but actually the majority of the showers will increase as the day goes on. And I'm thinking the roof is probably going to be closed tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be pouring in Seattle, but there will have been some showers nearby before the game and probably some around the area or north of it by game time. So probably just to be safe, the roof will be closed, I'm guessing at least, and highs tomorrow will be about the same as today. Upper 50s, low 60s, rain Saturday. It'll be cool, only like 58, 59, and then even cooler Sunday with snow levels near 4,000 feet, which means that the Paradise Visitor Center will probably have a couple inches of snow.
Nick, it sounds to me this morning like you've already reached the acceptance phase of the game yesterday.
No, not at all. I'm pure denial. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
We'll all get there together. Thanks, Nick. It's
Okay.
53 in Seattle right now. And time to check the roads. So once again, we do that every 10 minutes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
With the roof closed, maybe some of those Detroit balls will not go all the way out.
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be great? Looking at the drive now, it's not too bad. I got to start with the most unusual slowing, which isn't causing too big of a deal, but about a 5-minute delay on southbound I-5 as you make your way south of Boeing Field down into South Center. Got a crash there right at the bottom end of the Duwamish curve, right at Interurban. So plan on a couple of minutes. You hit the brakes really hard there all of a sudden. Coming the other direction, Federal Way to Seattle's only running 40 minutes. So that's not too bad. Give yourself about 55 minutes from Puyallup up into Renton because of the lane restrictions we have by Pacific. And then about Renton to Bellevue of about 20 minutes. There is some diversion over to I-5 today, but a 20-minute trip from Tacoma to Federal Way is not too bad. Out of the north end, we're still enjoying a very good drive. 40 minutes or less through the raindrops from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Olympia to Tacoma, nice and easy at about 35 minutes. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, logoed apparel, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone or visit suplinen.com.
It's 6:15. Dolly Parton says she is not dying. Phew. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard is here with the update.
This comes after Dolly Parton's sister, Frida, posted on social media this week asking for prayers for the 9 to 5 singer. This caused many fans to worry. We even talked about it yesterday. But Dolly posted a video saying that she's doing just fine.
I wanted to put everybody's mind at ease, those of you that seem to be real concerned, which I appreciate. And I appreciate your prayers because I'm a person of faith. I can always use the prayers for anything and everything.
Last week, the 79-year-old singer postponed her Las Vegas residency. Her doctors told her she would need a few procedures.
She's adorable. Thanks for the update. It's now 6:16.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO News Radio.
Well, just days after the 2-year anniversary of the deadly Hamas attacks on Israel, the beginnings of a ceasefire deal have been made in Gaza. Celebrations in Israel and inside the White House this morning as phase 1 of the peace deal is formulated. Joining us now with details is CBS's Robert Berger. He is in Jerusalem. Robert, good morning. Let's start with the scene there in Jerusalem. How's the general public feeling?
Oh, great. I mean, 2 years. Looks like the hostages are going to be coming home very soon, either Sunday or Monday. The cabinet is due to meet shortly. They're going to approve this deal. And then within 72 hours, supposed to see the release of hostages. Now, there are 48 hostages, 20 of whom are believed to be alive. All are actually supposed to be released, both the living and the dead. But at least the 20 living could be coming home already by Sunday or Monday, and then I suppose it may take a little longer to get all the bodies. But there's elation in Israel. It's been a long war. The thousands of people have been gathering in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv to celebrate. Huge relief that this might be coming to an end.
Yesterday, we spoke with your colleague, CBS's Linda Gradstein there in Jerusalem, too, and she was talking about the meeting in Egypt. Is that what sparked this deal?
Well, yes, there's been negotiations going on in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, on the Red Sea, with Egypt, Qatar envoys from the United States, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, have all been there to try. But, this has been in the works a long time. The 20-point plan, President Trump was already talking about it last week. These negotiations have been going on a long time. The big sticking point, of course, has been the release of the hostages, but Trump basically gave Hamas an ultimatum. He got the Arab states behind it, and now Hamas is really, it seems, prepared to release the hostages. And there's a lot more work to be done after that. Also, Israel will release about 2,000 Palestinian prisoners.
Talking with CBS's Robert Berger, who is in Jerusalem this morning. What are we hearing from Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu?
Well, he says that this was hard work, thanks to the work of the Israeli military and fighting Hamas for 2 years and putting pressure on Hamas. And he said that he vowed to get all the hostages out. It was hard, but of course, he says it's a great day for Israel and for all of the country. This is happening during the Sukkot holiday, the Feast of Tabernacles. So elation really from all parts of the Israeli government.
What has President Trump said about it this morning?
Well, he's also saying that this is a huge breakthrough, and he's talking about coming to the Middle East. We're probably going to see him here next week. We've heard a little different accounts of exactly when that might happen. I think I heard him just say a little while ago that it might be after the hostages are released. But yeah, it looks like he's going to come. And he's a big hero over here, you know. He is widely acclaimed as the one who brought this deal about.
We mentioned the celebrations in Israel. Do we know how Palestinians in Gaza are reacting to the deal?
A little more subdued. You know, Gaza has been destroyed, basically, but I think also relief. That they have suffered enormously on the Palestinian side, you know, with casualty toll around 65,000, famine in some areas. The infrastructure has been virtually destroyed, so people are tired and they're glad to see it end, but they really don't have much to come back to.
Are there concerns that this deal could still go south?
It doesn't look like it right now. It's a great question because you never know in the Middle East about last-minute hitches. But it sure looks like this is going to go forward now. So we'll see. It's 72. Once the agreement is signed, which is supposed to happen later today in Egypt, then within 72 hours, probably like I said, Sunday or Monday, the hostages should start coming out. And it looks like it's going to happen.
We really appreciate the update. Thank you so much. CBS's Robert Berger with us from Jerusalem. It's now 6:21. Elsewhere this morning, 500 National Guard troops were activated overnight to guard an immigration center that's been targeted by protesters. A federal judge expected to decide today if the Trump administration has the authority to send them there. Demonstrators filled downtown Chicago yesterday to protest the deployment. CBS News correspondent Ian Lee has more on the growing tension between Trump, the state, and city leaders.
Chicagoans may be awaiting a federal judge's ruling on whether National Guard troops will be allowed to deploy to their city. But CBS News can confirm they're already here. U.S. Northern Command says to protect this ICE facility and other federal sites. It comes after President Trump on Wednesday said Chicago's mayor and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, both Democrats, should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers.
And a 3-panel judge on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is set to consider whether Trump can deploy members of the National Guard to Portland. A lower court judge had issued a temporary restraining order that blocked the White House from federalizing members of Oregon's Guard and prevented the president from deploying troops from other states to Portland. Yesterday, the Ninth Circuit said the federal government has the authority to federalize members of Oregon's National Guard. We get the update from KXL radio reporter Heather Roberts.
Senator Jeff Merkley says there are only 2 reasons to deploy the National Guard against a governor's wishes.
An invasion, troops on the border coming across, a rebellion, a large, well-organized, well-armed attack trying to overthrow the government.
Merkley and other city and state leaders say neither is true in Portland right now. Heather Roberts for CBS News, Portland, Oregon.
We're coming up on 6:23, and that's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the 3s. So what do you have for us, Sully?
Well, it looks like the crash that we've been talking about southbound I-5 at Interurban there, just south of the Duwamish River, is in the left-hand side of the road. That's where all the emergency vehicles are set up. So you're going to be free there on the right-hand side. But it looks like a couple of lanes are blocked. We've got a couple of minutes worth of a delay. The bigger issue is if you're going down at 65 or so, maybe a little bit more on southbound 5 passing the Boeing freeway, the Boeing access road, you're going to hit all stop really quickly right around the corner, and you can't quite see it before the corner. So just be careful down there. You don't want to get caught up in this, so start bringing your speed down as you work your way towards the top of the Duwamish curve. Rest of the map, about what you would expect. We've got brake lights there on northbound I-5. As you work your way through the Tacoma Core, it's going to take you 25 minutes up to Federal Way. It's about a 10-minute delay. A lot of that is the people heading over that way to avoid what's happening on 167. And that, of course, is the hour drive we have from Puyallup to Renton, the 20-minute delay through that Pacific area where we only have the right lane open. After that, there are brake lights in Auburn, a little bit at the north end, and then Renton to Bellevue is a little over 20 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma is still rolling under 40, so that's great. Coming down from the north end, definitely seeing some brake lights in Marysville right there at the main exit, a little bit south of the Boeing freeway, so give yourself about 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. The Lake Bridges, though, are fine. This report brought to you by flyseaportair.com, introducing 20 convenient flights per day between Boeing Field and Portland. Easy parking, no TSA on Seaport Airlines. Book today, flyseaportair.com.
Our forecast, we're going to see a mix of sun breaks and showers for the next couple of days with highs either side of 60. It looks like the most steady rain will move in on Saturday. Rain at times in 59. Sunday, back to a few sun breaks and scattered showers. Right now in Seattle, we have mostly cloudy skies. It's 53. Hey, the Seattle Seahawks season is underway. We want to send you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game Monday, October 20th. All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app. Click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. You can enter daily to increase your chances to win, and the contest runs through Monday, October 13th. Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has details on the vote in Seattle Public Schools to bring back police to Garfield High. We'll also get to the opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
The Jake and Spike Show.
A couple.
Weekdays noon to 3.
That's not fair. A guy in a couple who ate dirt as a way to change the mojo for the Mariners. Kyle, in the video, it looks like you are mixing it with, I assume that's milk.
It was milk. I just thought, like, what would be the easiest thing to mix this with? I guess in the moment, maybe a beer would have been better.
Clearly it did work. I've posted plenty of TikToks before, and I've never had this happen before.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
We are Subaru of Puyallup.
We're stress-free.
Stress-free. Estamos libre de estrés.
We're almost 100 employees strong. We make sure the sales process is smooth.
We have video car walkthroughs.
We have stress-free pricing.
We value our customers and we value their experience.
We're like a family here. We love our community.
And support local charities. We are
Subaru of Puyallup, your
stress-free
dealership.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan, starting with the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces to agreed-upon lines. We get the update from CBS's Natalie Brand.
The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's put out a statement saying he spoke to President Trump by phone last night and also invited him to address Israel's parliament, the Knesset. The president has floated going to the Middle East as early as later this weekend.
The Seattle School District has rejected a pilot program to bring police back inside Garfield High School. The school board's final vote, 5-2 against the measure. And we get the update live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, this would have reintroduced police officers to Garfield High School, then perhaps to other schools across Seattle. One officer, called a school engagement officer, that would focus on crime prevention and building relationships. Well, here was the final vote by the Seattle School Board last night.
President Topp?
No.
This motion has failed with a vote of 2 yeses and 5 noes.
But right after the vote, this was the reaction and the comment from Director Gina Topp.
This is not an easy topic. I think that there's more work to be done here. And I am looking at a vote here where we have 2 of the longest serving board directors voting yes. And that hits in a different way.
This has been a controversial topic being considered for years now. It was punctuated after the shooting death of Garfield student Amar Murphy Payne just last year. There's still no suspect in that case. A lot of parents thought police officers would be a powerful deterrent. Leading up to the vote, though, some parents told KIRO 7 TV,
the idea is that the first interaction a person has with a police officer shouldn't be when they're in trouble or getting arrested. It should be when, just a friendly conversation.
And then last night, more parents voiced their concerns along those same lines.
And for someone to just come in like that's going to make it, I'm not going back to that school.
Amanda, a lot of other school districts around the state were watching this vote very closely. Every board member agreed, however, last night, more work does need to be done when it comes to school safety.
Thanks for the update. With President Trump ordering National Guard troops to Portland and Chicago, Seattle's mayor is preparing for the possibility he'll also send them here.
Mayor Bruce Harrell signed 2 executive orders Wednesday morning. One gets the city prepared for the potential legal battle to stop troops from coming to Seattle by firming up plans and opening communication lines between different city and state agencies.
We are ready to fight in court. We monitor what's happening in other cities and other states, and we want to be ready.
The other executive order focuses on immigration enforcement, and it includes a ban on the use of face masks by law enforcement and a requirement that all agencies operating in Seattle have visible IDs. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And Portland's mayor says it's time to take the tape down. Keith Wilson ordered police barricades removed from around the federal immigration building in South Portland. He made the call after city council members warned the barriers could stir up more protests. Those protests have been happening nightly for months, but they were small, just a few dozen people, until President Trump said he would send troops. The Oregonian reports the federal government wanted a permanent perimeter, but Wilson says that would make things worse. And in case you missed it, it's do or die for the Mariners. Game 5, first pitch 5:08 at T-Mobile Park tomorrow against the Tigers. Time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and Chris Sullivan's watching the roads.
And we got a new crash to tell you about, not in a good spot, and it's already causing problems. Southbound I-5, right at the Edmonds exit there, 104 there by the Nile Golf Course. HOV lane and left general purpose lane blocked, and we're backing up quickly into Linwood. Already 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. That is plus 10 at this point through that delay. You look at Everett to Bellevue, and it's just got volume, but it's almost as close, 45 minutes there. There are some brake lights up through the Marysville area. That's due to just a little bit of volume and the weather. Looking at northbound I-5 through the Tacoma area, it's really heavy past the Puyallup River Bridge. I think what we have here is a looky-loo slowdown because there's a crash in the southbound direction that actually has Bay Street's off-ramp blocked at this point, and there's a lot of lights going on there. State Patrol investigating this as a rollover. So plan on about 25 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 45 minutes. We have the Valley Freeway getting close to an hour now to make that drive from Puyallup to Renton through that 20-minute delay into Pacific, and 25 minutes plus from Renton to Bellevue. Coming down southbound I-5, we're still working with this crash in the left-hand side of the road right at Interurban. Expect an all-stop right as you come around the corner past the Boeing Access Road. Looking at the lake bridges, we're in good shape. This report brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damage. Call 811 or submit online, digsafewa.com.
We're going to see a mix of showers and sun breaks for today and tomorrow with highs around 60. More steady rain moves in on Saturday with a high of 59. Right now in Seattle, mostly cloudy at 53. And at 6:36, it's time for the opening bell report. After lawmakers in Washington failed to break a stalemate again yesterday, the government shutdown is now entering its 9th day. Here's CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
In the Senate, a Republican bill to fund the government again failed yesterday to get the needed 60 votes to pass. Democrats are pushing for the extension of health care subsidies that Republicans have refused for now.
If you want our votes for the budget, you've got to make sure that you don't ruin the health care system this fall.
The difference is they're trying to hold us hostage. No, we want to have a debate about how to do it right, and save the taxpayers' money.
With the two sides locked in, the Senate's top Republican has now suggested he could hold votes on standalone bills to fund parts of the government.
Staffing shortages are leaving some air traffic control towers unmanned and airports dealing with ground stops and delays. KENS TV's Jeremy Baker spoke with passengers at the airport in San Antonio.
If you do get stuck, Jocelyn Steiner, who is traveling to Columbia through Dallas with her siblings Christopher and Kiara, told us.
I think that if your flight gets delayed, maybe try to find a hotel, or maybe if they have family nearby, you can stay with them.
In a statement, the San Antonio airport said in part, Customs and Border Protection officers, Transportation Security Administration officers, and air traffic controllers are considered essential personnel and will continue to report for duty.
And unions representing federal workers are warning of dire consequences over the government shutdown.
Unions representing government, federal, trade workers, and engineers are calling on lawmakers to end the government shutdown. And Sarah Nelson at the Association of Flight Attendants warns it's tough on workers who don't know if they'll get a paycheck.
Not knowing if you're going to be able to buy that insulin that you need to keep your child alive.
The unions say no American should be forced to choose between serving the nation and feeding their families. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Another warehouse chain is offering lower prices on Ozempic and Wegovy. We get more from CBS's Deborah Rodriguez.
First Costco, now Sam's Club pharmacies are selling discounted weight loss drugs. The price is the same at both warehouse chains, $499 a month. Sam's will deliver directly to customers' homes. The drug's Danish maker, Novo Nordisk, says consumers can get the same deal on its injectables by purchasing them on the drug website GoodRx or through its online NovoCare pharmacy. The company is scrambling to keep up with competition from Eli Lilly's Zepbound and Mounjaro KIRO, as well as telehealth operations that sell compounded versions of Ozempic and Wegovy. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
A rocket company in Kent just got a major boost. Stoke Space announced a $510 million funding round yesterday. They also secured a $100 million debt facility. That brings our total raise to $990 million. Stoke is building a reusable rocket called Nova. They say it makes reaching orbit 20 times cheaper. The company launched 6 years ago. And downtown Bellevue just landed another AI startup. Curative AI is taking over space once used by Niantic, the Pokemon Go company. City records show Curative is subleasing more than 18,000 square feet at One Bellevue Center. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, the company builds artificial intelligence tools for healthcare. Niantic moved out after selling its gaming business in March, and now Curative is part of a growing tech wave on the east side. Wall Street trading's underway now. The Dow is up about 78 points at 46,680. S&P is up 4, and the Nasdaq is down just about 16 points. A word now for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. It's 6:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at this crash on southbound I-5 right at the Edmonds exit. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You could do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. So my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube, weekdays 3 to 7, and download the KIRO Newsradio app.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Out at the Wilcox family farm, our hens roam freely on fresh green pasture. But that means predators like coyotes and eagles are always nearby. That's where our team of Great Pyrenees help out. These gentle giants were born to protect, and they become a part of our family. Raised alongside the chickens from puppyhood. Our hens are raised humanely, our practices are organic, and our promise is simple. Fresh eggs straight from our farm to your table. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
It's It's now 6:43. Time once again for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. What's up, Sully?
Well, we've got about a 3.5-mile backup now on southbound I-5, making your way through Linwood, around through Mount Lake Terrace, down to the Edmonds exit. That's where this crash that was over on the left-hand side of the road has now moved into the right-hand side. Looks like the right lane remains blocked, and we've got about an hour drive already from Everett to Seattle. It's about 15 minutes slower than it might be, and it's all really because of that slowing there. You compare that to the 50-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue, that's just volume. A little bit further to the north, there are brake lights getting through the Tulalip area down into Marysville. That just appears to be volume and some weather. Looking at northbound 167, we continue to struggle through Pacific. Got about an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton. That's about 20 minutes slower than it should be. And then Renton to Bellevue is not quite a half an hour, but getting close. Northbound I-5 still struggling from Tacoma up through Federal Way. 25 minutes on that trip is about 10 minutes slower than it should be. And you can't get off at Bay Street on southbound I-5 because of a rollover crash that involves a potential vehicular assault case the State Patrol is investigating. Federal Way to Seattle running right around 50 minutes. Still have the brake lights on southbound I-5 getting through the Duwamish curve down towards Interurban, where a crash remains in the left lane. Plan on a couple of minutes worth of a delay there. The Lake Bridges, though, are fine. Olympia to Tacoma, no issues. This report brought to you by Bucky's Complete Auto Care. For over 50 years, Bucky's has provided oil changes, brakes, factory service, and more. No appointment needed. Friendly financing. Bucky's.com.
We're going to see a mix of showers and sun breaks for the next couple of days with highs around 60. Saturday looks pretty wet. We'll see some steady rain at times and a high of 59. Back to some sun breaks on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, mostly cloudy and 53. And it's 6:45. George Clooney ready to roll the dice again. Ocean's 14 is officially in motion, and here to tell us all about it is KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard.
Have you ever asked yourself how many Ocean's movie is too many Ocean's movies?
You think we need one more? You think we need one more?
That was from the very first Ocean's 11. Now, in a recent red carpet interview, Clooney confirmed Ocean's 14 is officially in the works with Brad Pitt, Julia Roberts, and more likely to return.
We just got the budget approved at Warner Brothers, and we're trying to set up, it's just scheduling, so it's just setting a start date for us, probably starting about 9 or 10 months shooting.
Well, he's excited to reunite with the cast. What about you, Sully?
They're fun movies, but isn't anything original anymore?
Yeah, do you need a new one? I mean, what are we going to steal this time and get away with it, ironically? It's like, maybe they all get shot this time?
Oh, my
or something?
goodness.
I
Make it
was
interesting?
not expecting that. Okay.
I don't know. Make it like a real
place.
heist or something. I don't know. The first one was great. They didn't need any other after that.
Of
course,
see.
The original was kind of fun, too.
That was good.
The real heist is them making a bunch of extra ones and just mining money from audience.
Yeah, that is true.
All right. Thanks, Katrina. It's 6:46.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're honored to share that the Harnish Auto family has partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest to donate on your behalf. For every test drive at any of our 6 dealerships, including Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup, or Kia and Chevy of Everett. No purchase necessary, just hop in and take a spin. Together, we can make a huge difference in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money?
What an imbecile.
Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20th. Head to the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO Newsradio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Good morning. It is 6:49 Thursday. It's the 9th of October. It also happens to be the 9th day of the government shutdown. Still no end in sight. While Democrats and Republicans continue to hold their ground, there does seem to be a shift toward favoring the Democrats, as a new poll shows many Americans are starting to associate blame of the shutdown with the GOP and President Trump. Joining us now with the latest, News Nation's Tom Dempsey. Tom, good morning. Here we are on day 9. What do we know about yesterday's Senate vote?
Yeah, good morning. Look, the government shutdown has now officially entered week 2, and really no signs of this stalemate ending anytime soon. So, yeah, you brought up the votes yesterday. Obviously didn't pass. The government shutdown very much continues right now. We are getting set for another series of votes later this morning, but really no signs, like I said, pointing to any sort of major agreement between Democrats and Republicans, and nothing showing that there's going to be a major breakthrough to ending this stalemate right now. And of course, the big holdup right now, at least for Democrats, is they want to see a permanent extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies that are expiring at the end of the year. But something that's worth noting right now is that, with this shutdown dragging on, if it's still happening this time next week, that means military members might see their paychecks come to a stop there. The essential personnel, people like air traffic controllers, military members, TSA agents at the airport, they're working without pay right now due to the government shutdown. So that's one of the big talkers right now, is trying to get some sort of, bill passed. Democrats are really pushing for a standalone bill to pass to address pay for military members as this government shutdown continues. But even that, House Speaker Mike Johnson is saying, look, if you want to see military members get paid, pass the Republican plan, this short-term government spending plan. So it's still, I guess, a long story short, it's still a lot of going back and forth. The blame game very much continuing right now, and still really just no signs that this stalemate is going to be ending anytime soon.
Obviously, this is affecting everyday people. Now, what's the mood in D.C. these days?
It's interesting covering all this because, we're getting set actually this next hour. We're getting set to hear from House Speaker Mike Johnson. He's been doing these daily press conferences, and you could almost bring a bingo card to these press conferences now. It's like, rinse, repeat every single day. The phrase, political purposes, or this is the other party's government shutdown. This is, them playing political games. And to be very fair to the House Speaker, if you were to hear from a Democrats press conference, it might very well be the same. You could bring that same bingo card. So it seems to be just a lot of going back and forth, a lot of blame calling, blame and name calling for the other side. It's just the same thing every day. And what we're really not seeing is any sort of budging by either side. And we just don't know when this is really all going to end right now.
Where do we go from here? Are there more votes coming up?
Yeah, so there's another vote later this morning, but again, we're expecting more of the same. And I think what we're really going to see, the key question is, what can we expect moving forward? I think the temperature on this is really going to change when federal workers, including military members, start to see their paychecks not showing up at their house. They're not getting paid right now, but bills keep coming in. Mortgages still need to be paid. And that's going to really probably up pressure on lawmakers as they keep getting calls from people to, find some sort of a deal. Also worth noting, too, that air traffic controllers are working without pay, and some of them are even calling off sick as a result of that, which is leading to some delays at airports. So again, to answer your question, what can we expect moving forward? If we're seeing, even more flight delays and even more air traffic controllers calling out sick, I think that might potentially push lawmakers to find some sort of a deal to end the government shutdown.
All right, Tom, we'll be watching for your updates. Thanks so much. News Nation's Tom Dempsey. A Hungarian has won the 2025 Nobel Literature Prize, as we hear from CBS's Vicky Barker.
Awarding the prize to Laszlo Krasznahorka, the jury singled out the Hungarian novelist's themes of choice, postmodern dystopia and melancholy in a post-communist apocalyptic world.
Krasznahorka's dark outlook on life is fused with his extraordinary linguistic vitality.
The 71-year-old Krasznahorka wins an award worth $1.2 million, a gold medal, a diploma, and a place in literary history. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
It's 6:53. That's time to check your drive. We do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan, what do you have?
I got a 20-minute delay for people heading southbound on I-5 trying to get away from Linwood down through Mount Lake Terrace. Got a crash at the Edmonds exit there. We're blocking the right-hand lane and a pretty solid backup. It's an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett into Seattle at this point. You compare that to about 55 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, and that's just the normal volume. So not exactly a fun day getting out of Snohomish County. A little bit further to the north, there are brake lights through Marysville. That's volume and a little bit of weather. Coming up from the south end, Olympia to Tacoma looks really good. There are some brake lights in Tacoma, but 25 minutes to Federal Way isn't too bad. Federal Way to Seattle's running right around 55 minutes. Northbound 167, about an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton. You know the drill. That's with the brake lights through the lane restrictions in Pacific. Then the rest of the way on up isn't terrible till you get up to about 180th. Looking at brake lights on northbound 405 as you work your way through the S-curves, but about a half an hour up to Bellevue isn't out of line. Now, to a couple other things to deal with. For those of you on southbound I-5 getting into the Tacoma area, the off-ramp to Bay Street remains closed, and it might be for a while. State Patrol's investigating a rollover there, so there is a little bit of a backup southbound. The other issue southbound I-5 is right there at the Duwamish curve. We're seeing heavy brake lights to interurban. We've been working with a crash in the left-hand side of the road for the better part of an hour now, so plan on about 5 or 6 minutes worth of a delay. The bigger issue is you're going to come to an all-stop from a freeway speed drive just south of Boeing Field. This report brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss skin tightening solution for men and women. Offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation, prosculpt.com.
Our forecast, a mix of sun breaks and showers for today with highs around 60. It's 53 in Seattle right now, and coming up, Sully will have a choke point. Revive I-5 is back. He'll have details. Our inbox is always open for your news, tips, and story ideas at mynorthwest.com, and you can text us at 888-973-5476. This is KIRO News Radio.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here.
And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms.
Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Gazans have high hopes after Hamas and Israel agreed to the first phase of President Trump's peace plan. This man in Khan Yunis spoke through an interpreter.
We are very happy that the war has stopped. This is something joyful for us, and we thank everyone who contributed to stop the war and bloodshed.
The sentiment the same in Israel. People in Tel Aviv uncorked champagne. Administration officials tell CBS News the turning point that led to the agreement was Israeli strikes in Doha. They say it created a positive opportunity and led to maximum pressure. Correspondent Deborah Pata from East Jerusalem.
The first stage of the deal will see all the captives freed in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and a staged Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. What is not clear is whether Hamas will lay down all its weapons and how a post-war Gaza will be secured and governed.
CBS News has learned President Trump will travel only to Israel and Egypt if the plan gets final approval. There are court hearings today in Oregon and Illinois on challenges to the president's National Guard deployments. Troops were activated in Chicago overnight. Katrina Thompson is mayor of nearby Broadview.
I'm very concerned because the military is not local police. We can govern ourselves. We've been doing that for a very long time.
A CBS News investigation looked into 90 images from the day Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
The photos were taken by New York's Office of Chief Medical Examiner, and they raise more questions than they answer. Epstein's body was removed before investigators arrived, and Epstein's cell, experts say, should have been treated as a crime scene, and by all appearances, it was not.
Russia's president has made an admission about an Azerbaijani jetliner that crashed last year. CBS's Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk.
In his first ever such public admission, Vladimir Putin has said Russia's air defense forces were to blame for last December's disaster, which left 38 people dead. The real target, he said, was a Ukrainian drone. The jetliner, about to land in Chechnya, essentially got caught in the crossfire.
Pop open a can of soda to get through your afternoon. You might want to skip it. New research finds as little as 9 ounces of artificially sweetened or sugary drinks a day raises the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease by as much as 60%. That's similar to the effects of heavy alcohol use. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It is 7:03 and time once again to get back to Chris Sullivan. He's watching your traffic.
And we're up to about an hour and 15-minute drive now on southbound I-5 from Everett down into Seattle, primarily because of the 4.5-mile backup we have from Linwood down through Mount Lake Terrace. The crash that started all this right there at the Edmonds exit has cleared entirely off to the right shoulder, so the right lane is no longer blocked, but the problem is we've got an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett into Seattle. You have about an hour and 5-minute trip from Everett into Bellevue. Heavy brake lights today through Canyon Park, but the rest of the way on down is not too bad. Looking at northbound 167, still struggling with that 20-minute delay as you work your way through Sumner, up through the Pacific area, through the lane restrictions. After that, though, it's not too bad. Only about 22 minutes out of Auburn, and then Renton to Bellevue's a half an hour. Northbound I-5 through the Tacoma area up the Fife Hill to 18's a little slow, 25 minutes there. A lot of that diversion from 167. And we do have a pretty sizable backup now southbound to I-5 as you work your way through downtown Tacoma right at the Puyallup River Bridge. The exit to Bay Street on southbound I-5 is blocked at this point and will be for a while. This is a police investigation now. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Tired of uneven heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump. Home Comfort Alliance will give you room-by-room control. Serious savings. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:04, and it is win or go home for the Mariners. Seattle will host Game 5 of the American League Division Series right here at home tomorrow. They came up just short of clinching against Detroit, following a tough loss. Again, the series is not over yet. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with a preview of this do-or-die matchup.
You know, I know a lot of you are feeling it this morning. We're all a little depressed over that loss last night. But you know what? Let's turn those frowns upside down, shall we? Yeah? You feeling it? Feeling a little more upbeat?
Okay.
You know, there are 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Amanda, you're at acceptance.
I've accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
David?
I've been hearing a lot of sighing from that
I'm
corner
in
of
the sigh
studio.
phase right now.
There is a sigh phase. We'll take that. Sully, where are you? Where are
I'm
you
at
on the meter?
acceptance, and let's get it on.
All right. You know, I think I'm at anger. I think I'm angry. And I'll tell you why. I found this on social media. Did you know that Tigers fans do this? They sing Journey's Don't Stop Believin', born in South Detroit. This is a song about a guy who's restless and searching for the meaning of life, and guess what? He never finds it.
Excellent.
He never finds it. Give me some of this. Give me some of that. Give me that all day long. Give me some more of this from Game 4, early innings. We got to love these Mariners highlights, folks. Well, here we go. Got to love these Mariners highlights, folks.
Swinging a line drive into right field, base hit. Arozarena being waved in. He hits third base, and he's rolling home now. Just a walk in the park for Randy. He steps on top of home plate. Cal Raleigh drives in another run for the Mariners today.
And give me more from Hall of Famer Derek Jeter.
The Seattle Mariner fans love baseball. The fans are into it, man. They really love baseball here. They've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, we have. First pitch Friday is 5:08 at T-Mobile Park. There are great seats still available on the resale market. On SeatGeek, I found some. The lowest, $225. That's it for the upper deck. Fans tell KIRO 7 TV this morning they can't wait.
It'll mean a lot. I mean, it's just such a good memory, and I don't know. It's just going to be so fun.
And we get to enjoy another home game. Everything on the line. It doesn't get much better than that. Do we feel better from about an hour ago?
We're tied. It's win one game.
No, we're feeling better.
Right?
Yeah, we're getting better.
Thank you. I think it was the happy music that did it for us.
I'm gonna skip depression. I'm gonna go straight to acceptance.
All right, tomorrow 5:08 at T-Mobile. Of course, you can catch all the action on our sister station 710 Seattle Sports. It's now 7:07. A man is recovering after a late-night shooting in South Seattle. Police say this happened about 11 o'clock last night near South Winthrop and Cheesty Boulevard. Officers found a 40-year-old man with gunshot wounds to his head and face. Seattle Fire rushed him to Harborview. Investigators took pictures and found ballistic evidence at the scene. They don't know who pulled the trigger. If you have any information, you are asked to call police. And Washington Attorney General Nick Brown is now leading a coalition of 24 attorneys general and governors to challenge against President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Oregon. The group filed a brief supporting Oregon's lawsuit, arguing the move violates constitutional limits on military use in civil law enforcement. This week, Attorney General Brown told Seattle's Morning News,
there is no need to have federal military troops in our state, in our city, and it's not lawful. It's not lawful to do it in the way that the president is doing it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
A federal judge is expected to decide today whether the Trump administration has the authority to deploy National Guard troops in Chicago.
Keeping you informed since 1974. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Well, good morning. It is 7:08. It's Thursday, the 9th of October. I'm Manda Factor. Charlie Harger has the rest of the week off. Sully is here checking your traffic every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank is here. Katrina Gashard at the news desk. And Nick Kreischer, you haven't weighed in yet on whether you've accepted what happened yesterday.
I'm trying to be like Luke, skip depression, go to acceptance. It's a winner take all. It's all in front of us right now.
It's one game.
Yes.
Right? Just got to win
We
one
beat him
game.
before. We've got good pitching too. People forget we've got good pitching too.
On paper, this is the best team in baseball.
Yes.
Just my humble opinion. All right. Coming up this hour of the show, Sully, you have a choke point. What's up?
Revive I-5,
Again?
our good friend, is back this weekend, this time in the southbound direction at the Ship Canal Bridge. So I'm going to break it all down for you coming up here just shortly.
All right, one more note on the Mariners. It's the Rick Riz Show coming up. Rick's going to help us shake off that Game 4 loss and get us ready for the biggest game the Mariners have played in the last 24 years. It's now 7:09. The mayor of Auburn says she was blindsided this week. Mayor Nancy Backus says the city found out through reports the so-called South Hill rapist moved to Auburn. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
That is not the way a local jurisdiction should find out that a level 3 sex offender has been released into their community.
Mayor Nancy Backus is talking about rapist Kevin Coe. He was released last week after his health deteriorated to the point a judge said he could no longer needed to be held. Coe was convicted of a single rape charge back in the 80s, but investigators believe he may be tied to dozens more between the 70s and the 80s.
The Seattle School District has rejected a pilot program to bring police back inside Garfield High School. The school board's final vote 5-2 against the measure, and Luke Ducey is following that as well this morning. He'll have more coming up at 7:30. Police arrested a 60-year-old man accused of forcing his way into a Seattle high school, assaulting a security guard, and pointing a gun at a teenager. More on this from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao.
I talked to Charlene and Nate Stahl, who live nearby. They were shocked by what happened, especially when police say the suspect attacked the school security guard in an effort to speak with the principal. When he was told to leave, it only escalated from there.
They could scar those kids for life.
Police say the suspect walked up to two teens parked on the street, reached into the car, and grabbed a 15-year-old by the neck while holding a knife, and then pulled out a gun in the other hand. Investigators say the teen, fearing for his life, managed to escape and called 911.
A 29-year-old Auburn man accused of breaking into the state capitol building has now been charged. It was Sunday night. Prosecutors say troopers found Gunnar Schubert climbing out a window, but not before doing significant damage. WSP trooper Jermaine Walker.
Statues being overturned, rugs and flags being burned, glass being broken. So the damage was fairly significant.
Troopers say the incident was not politically motivated and may be linked to mental health issues. Schubert was arrested at the scene, released on his own recognizance, and he's due back in court tomorrow. Issaquah police have arrested a 22-year-old man in connection with a string of hate-motivated graffiti incidents around the city.
Since last December, swastikas and other hateful symbols, along with anti-Semitic slurs, have been found on trails, tunnels, underpasses, and in other public places. Detectives say the suspect is linked to at least a dozen acts of vandalism. Police say hate has no home in Issaquah, and that this arrest marks an important step toward accountability and healing.
And that's KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay. Some sheriff's offices across western Washington are speaking up about possible budget cuts in upcoming years.
Being 45% of the county budget, I was asked to take about a $1.7 million cut in 2026.
Kitsap County Sheriff John Giese says that could break his already understaffed department.
We're very, very low staffed to begin with. We're also struggling with vacancies and people gone on protracted leave. So it's just been really painful for us right now.
He says low staffing is causing delays in response times, and the deputies are stretched thin.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reporting. And a longtime Seattle broadcaster has retired. Deborah Horn is ending her 34-year run at KIRO 7 TV. Earlier this year, she sat down with her colleague Monique Ming-Lavin on the podcast Hit and Miss.
What I hope I've done in my career
my goal is to shine a light on places where the light has not shone. And so I want to talk to, not the governor, I want to talk to the unhoused person.
One of Horn's career highlights, interviewing civil rights icon Rosa Parks. It's 7:12. Time for a check on the weather now. It is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We're going to see showers for today and tomorrow. Some sun breaks too. Nothing too threatening. Highs around 60. Saturday looks like you'll get pretty wet. We'll see steady rain at times and a high of 59. Back to some sun breaks on Sunday. Right now it's cloudy and 53 in Seattle. And it's 7:13. That's time for traffic. We do it every 10 minutes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And it is not a pretty drive out of Snohomish County. The crash that we have, the good news is it's out of the way, but the bad news is it created about a 25 minute delay. It's an hour and 20 now from Everett to Seattle. The crash right there at the Edmonds exit, right by the Nile Golf Course, over on the right-hand side. Not blocking anymore, but we're bumper to bumper coming down from, say, 128. It's pretty ugly. You have about an hour and 15 minute trip now from Everett to Bellevue because you have to drive through some of this just to get down there. So not a pretty drive out of Snohomish County. Looking at northbound I-5, we continue to see brake lights in the Fife area up to Highway 18. A lot of that is diversion from the 167 corridor, so we plan on about 25 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way, about 10 minutes slower than normal, then about an hour from Federal Way to Seattle. Also in the Tacoma area, we continue to see some heavy brake lights approaching Bay Street. That's because that off-ramp from southbound 5 is blocked at this point. Down in the Puyallup-Sumner area, we do have a crash on southbound 167 right there as you go right into Puyallup there. So it's right there as you drive towards Meridian. So plan on a little bit of a backup there. Going from Puyallup to Renton the other way, we continue to have about an hour drive because of the lane restrictions. Renton to Bellevue, about a half an hour. The lake bridges, though, are fine. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton, the D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event going on now through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community or drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
It's now 7:15. The queen of romantic comedies is sharing her thoughts on the genre. KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Kishard is here to explain.
Julia Roberts stopped by What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, where she revealed her definitive ranking of the best romantic comedy movies of all time, not counting her own.
My first thing I was going to say was Now Voyager, or Roman Holiday, or Philadelphia Story. But you know what is so amazing is the friggin' Notebook.
Do you have a favorite rom-com with or without Julia?
Is The Notebook a comedy? I don't think so, is it?
It has comedic moments, but I would not say it's a it's in the rom-com category, sure.
I think I would have to go with Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail or one of those.
When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, My Best Friend's Wedding. Like my
hilarious.
mom and I can watch that on repeat, falling over, crying, laughing.
Sully, what's your favorite rom-com?
Probably Army of Darkness.
How did I know you were going to say that? It's 7:16.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, you survived what Sully called the month of hell when northbound I-5 was reduced to 2 lanes over the summer. Guess what? Revive I-5 is back for another 6 weekends of work. Spill the details, Sully.
And this one's going to be in the southbound direction. But I want to remind everybody what they did in August, in July and August. The workers replaced 5 expansion joints, installed 94 new drains during that month-long project earlier this year. They also resurfaced about 900 feet of the bridge deck. Well, contractors are back this weekend for the first of 6 weekend projects in the southbound direction of I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge. Washington Department of Transportation's Tom Pierce says the focus this time again will remain on the drainage system.
We need weekend-long closures to do this work because we have to get in there. We've got to saw cut out the old drain. We've got to put in the new. We've got to pour the concrete. And we need a couple of lanes just so we have a good, safe work zone for the workers.
These lane reductions will start in the U District and extend south to about the 520 interchange. Now, those lane reductions usually will start about 10 p.m. on Friday nights. But there is a Husky game in Montlake this Friday, tomorrow, against Rutgers. So WashDOT's Pierce says the contractor won't start until after the game.
The Huskies play on Friday night, and our contractor actually is going to start work a little bit later on Friday night, an hour or maybe 2 later than they normally would on a Friday night, just to allow the traffic to clear Husky Stadium.
Mariners playoff games should not be impacted by this because everybody had better get their butts in their seats earlier than that. And by 10 o'clock at night or so or later, we will have already won and then moved on.
Also, no butts in seats. Everyone's got to be standing up whole time.
Yeah, sorry, forgot about that. 2 lanes are going to remain closed from tomorrow night through early Monday morning. There are 3 weekend projects this month, one in each of November, December, and January. You can see the entire schedule at mynorthwest.com. There are no Hawks or Husky games on those weekends. Not sure about where we're going to be when we play in the ALCS and the World Series. So we'll keep that in mind. Positive.
I love it.
This will also impact what we normally see in the express lanes this weekend.
We're also going to have the express lanes open southbound 24 hours a day during this work. That's going to provide a good alternative for people who are headed south of downtown.
Those express lanes, will not be available northbound for the duration of this weekend. Pierce says contractor did the work in July and August back for this series of closures, which always makes things a little bit more efficient.
Anytime you do road work, you're going to learn things that you can apply to future work. So our contractor did pick up some things that are going to help them work more efficiently as they replace the drains.
All right, now to look forward, like a little bit forward past right now. As I said, there are 6 weekend closures, all southbound, coming up with 2-lane restrictions. So that's what's starting now. But what we experienced this year and are going to experience coming up for the rest of the year is just the tip of the iceberg, because northbound I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge will be down to just 2 lanes for 2 4-month-long projects next year.
Do we really have to start talking about that?
Yes, well, I'm trying to get you in the back of your mind, only taking a break for the World Cup in June. And then in 2027, I know that's a little longer range, but southbound I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge is going to be reduced to just 2 lanes for 8 straight months.
Fun.
So
put it on your calendar.
That's the next 2 years. It's going to be very difficult getting into and through the Seattle area. So we've had a taste, and then the next couple of years are going to be rough.
I noticed this week, I get down here to the radio station at about 2 a.m. I noticed the 2 left lanes coming southbound over the Ship Canal have been closed every morning, it seems, when I'm on my way in. Is that just preparations for kind of these closures?
That, and they've also have some work sometimes across 520 where they have to do some lane reductions, maybe to block off people from going eastbound on 520. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. And again, we're racing the weather on this, but yeah, so we'll see. Again, 2 lanes southbound out of commission this full weekend, but after the Huskies game tomorrow night. So, be prepared. Go to mynorthwest.com, get a full look at what they're doing and the official weekends of closure. So,
okay, we'll get back to you for current traffic in just a couple of minutes. But wait, there's more. Could be a little messy for all southbound drivers through Seattle. Another full closure on I-405 is scheduled. Here's KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors.
More work on the massive 405 widening project brings a full closure on southbound 405 between Cold Creek Parkway and Northeast 30th. Crews are excavating for drainage, repaving, and conducting a traffic switch. The closure starts Friday at midnight through 4 a.m. Monday. This will send all those drivers over to I-5 through Seattle this weekend, so plan accordingly. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
It's 7:21. A CBS News investigation related to the death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein looks into 90 jail cell photos from the day Epstein was found dead, some which have never been seen publicly before. CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarlane has the update.
Investigators also found several possible nooses, but did not conclusively identify the one that killed him. What do you make of all these pictures?
I make a crime scene gone wrong.
Herman Weisberg is a former NYPD detective turned private investigator. Does it look to you like this was investigated as a suicide or as a murder?
To me, this looks like they took it at face value that this was a suicide.
While our investigation did not contradict the official determination of suicide, it does raise questions about what was done to rule out the possibility of murder.
On a lighter note, a trip to an apple orchard is a quaint fall tradition. CBS's Steve Kathan reports more of them are turning to technology to survive and thrive.
At Fishkill Farms in New York, Josh Morgenthau's family orchard offers 80 varieties of apples. An app is now used to manage crowds and help pickers find what's ripe.
Let's say, for instance, we got picked out of a Crimson Crisp, or they all passed their ripening window. We can take it off or, enable it or disable it.
A drone and GPS-mapped mower help carve out his annual corn maze.
It's not easy for farms, and the way that local farms like us have been able to stay in business is by being adaptive.
Steve Kathan, CBS News.
It's just about 7:23 and time for traffic. Once again, you've warned us about the future. What's happening right now, Sully?
Well, we got a really big backup coming down out of the north end on both 5 and 405. The one on I-5 has been caused by this crash we've been dealing with at the Edmonds exit, but I'm getting reports from a lot of our drivers, like Wendy, who say there might be a new crash on southbound 5 right there before 220th. Either way, we've got an hour and 20-minute trip from Everett to Seattle, about an hour and 15 from Everett into Bellevue because of the heavy brake lights there, and it's also really starting right around the Boeing Freeway. So plan on about a 15 to 20-minute delay coming down out of the north end. Northbound I-5 struggling through the Fife area up to Highway 18. A lot of that is a lot of the diversion from 167. 25 to 30 minutes now from Tacoma to Federal Way. Looking at the Valley Freeway, still struggling through Pacific. We've got that hour drive from Puyallup up to Renton. Also working with a crash in the southbound 167 corridor right at Meridian. They're blocking the right-hand lane, so that's why we're seeing some slowing there from Sumner South over into the Puyallup area. Speaking of southbound I-5 struggling getting through the Puyallup River Bridge. The exit to Bay Street remains closed at this point because of a rollover crash that is now under investigation for a DUI. So that's going to be a long-term problem there. Federal Way to Seattle running about an hour and 10 minutes. Renton to Bellevue about a half an hour. The Lake Bridges are still fine. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett. During the month of October, for every new Kia we sell, Kia of Everett will donate to local breast cancer research and support programs. Let's do this. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Our forecast, we're going to see some showers at times today. Not too bad. A few sun breaks too in 61. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same, just a little bit cooler. Saturday looks like we'll see some pretty steady rain at times and a high of 59. Back to sun breaks on Sunday along with the showers. Right now in Seattle, it's mostly cloudy and 53 degrees. And coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey on why police officers may be reintroduced into Garfield High School. And the Rick Riz Show coming up at 7:45 here on Seattle's Morning News.
As things escalate in Portland,
it looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next?
It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Fall is here, school is back in full swing, but can your bank keep up with your schedule? Well, WaFd Bank can, with free checking. Live your life and stick to your agenda without having to worry about minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees. WaFd has thousands of fee-free ATMs and more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states. Plus, WaFd Bank offers useful tools like voice-activated banking, so you can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full. And if you're like me, that's all the time. You'll also have access to free tools like online and mobile banking, bill pay, person-to-person payments with Zelle, plus mobile check deposit and full control over your debit cards to turn them on and off just in case they get misplaced. And when you open your account, choose from some great-looking debit cards to spend in style, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com to open your account today and find out why they were awarded Best Bank by Newsweek 3 years in a row. With WaFd Bank, you are in control. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit
so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Let's go!
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, "Buy low, sell high." There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
You've been hearing me rave about my experiences with Integrity Roofing and Construction. Well, you won't believe what Integrity is doing in October. They're giving away a free roof to someone in need. That's right, a free roof. Do you know a deserving family who could benefit from a free roof? Then visit IntegrityRC.com, click on the Integrity Cares page, and nominate someone today. What an incredible opportunity to help someone upgrade and protect their home. Go to IntegrityRC.com now, click on the Integrity Cares page, and nominate someone in need. IntegrityRC.com, because doing the right thing matters.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:30. Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan, starting with the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces to agreed-upon lines. We get the latest from CBS's Haley Ott in Tel Aviv.
Netanyahu is meeting with his cabinet and the government later today. After that government meeting, a 24-hour clock will begin for Israel to retreat to an agreed line still within Gaza. Then a 72-hour period will begin for Hamas, during which it will be required to release all the hostages.
The Seattle School District has rejected a pilot program to bring police back inside Garfield High School. The school board's final vote 5-2 against the measure. And we get the update live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, this program would have reintroduced police officers to Garfield High School and then perhaps to other schools across Seattle. One officer, called a school engagement officer, that would focus on crime prevention and building relationships. Here was the final vote by the Seattle School Board last night.
President Topp?
No.
This motion has failed with a vote of 2 yeses and 5 noes.
Right after the vote, this was the reaction and the comment from Director Gina Top.
This is not an easy topic. I think that there's more work to be done here. And I am looking at a vote here where we have two of the longest serving board directors voting yes. And that hits in a different way.
So there's obviously been some controversy here, even among the school board. It certainly has in the community, being discussed for months now. It was punctuated after the shooting death of Garfield student Amara Murphy Payne just last year. Still no suspects in that case. A lot of parents thought police officers would be a powerful deterrent to crime. Last night, other parents voiced their concerns.
And for someone to just come in like that's going to make it, I'm not going back to that school.
A lot of other districts around the state, of course, were watching this vote very closely to see which way it goes. Every board member, though, agreed. I think you heard a little bit of that in that sound. More work needs to be done when it comes to school safety.
All right, Luke, thank you. Speaking of school safety, a frightening incident at a Seattle high school led to the arrest of a 60-year-old man. Police say the suspect forced his way into the school on East Union Street Tuesday, assaulted a security guard, and later confronted two teenagers nearby, armed with both a knife and a gun. One teen was grabbed by the neck and threatened before escaping and calling 911. Charlene Stahl spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
They could scar those kids for life.
Officers later arrested the man at his home, where they recovered 2 firearms. He's facing charges of burglary and felony. It's 7:33, and that's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
And we are up to an hour and 40 minutes now from Everett into Seattle. That is a 30-minute delay. We not only had the crash to start things off in Edmonds, right there at the Edmonds exit, but we also had one in the center lane right near 220th coming down into Mount Lake Terrace. That has moved off to the right shoulder. Didn't stay there very long, but the damage is done. So plan on lengthy delays out of Snohomish County today. 405 looks relatively normal. About an hour and 15-minute trip for you guys. And of course,
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
I know you guys miss me, and you missed that as well.
We did. Welcome back.
$15 in the southbound express toll lanes. Now to the rest of the map, we are looking at about a Federal Way to Seattle drive of about an hour. Tacoma to Federal Way is about 25 minutes. A lot of that is the diversion from 167. Our friend Dave was out driving that 167 corridor. He says it's taken him 30 minutes just to go from 410 in Sumner up to the lane restrictions. So that puts us at about an hour and hour 20 maybe to go from Puyallup to Renton. So way behind schedule today by about 25 minutes. There was also southbound slowing on I-5 through Tacoma. That's because the Bay Street off-ramp is closed for a crash investigation. You're losing a couple of minutes there. Renton to Bellevue, 35 minutes, an hour from Federal Way to Seattle, so we're about average there. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service, 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone, or you can always reach them at suplinen.com.
Our forecast is going to stay mostly cloudy for today. Might see a few peaks of sunshine, chance of showers, though, and a high of 61. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same. Rain at times on Saturday. It looks like more steady stuff, 59 the high, and then Sunday back to a mix of scattered showers and sun breaks. It's cloudy and 53 in Seattle right now.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It's now 7:36. Well, the federal shutdown continues, day 9 now, with both sides pointing at each other and illustrating the East-West divide in Washington, D.C. Democrat Representative Adam Smith represents the 9th District in the Puget Sound area and wants to talk health care subsidies. He spoke with MSNBC.
If you want to negotiate health care subsidies, if you wanted to negotiate tax policy, if you want to negotiate anything, you can do it right now.
Representative Michael Baumgardner represents the 5th District in Spokane, and he spoke to Fox Business.
What it's about is the Democrats trying to show their base that they can fight hard against President Trump.
The House passed a clean continuing resolution, but it has not passed the Senate. With National Guard troops being deployed to Portland and Chicago, Seattle's mayor says he wants the city to be ready if the same thing happens here.
Mayor Bruce Harrell signed 2 executive orders Wednesday morning, one designed to make sure the city is ready to work with the state to battle any unlawful deployments in court. The other has to do with immigration enforcement, and it includes a ban on police wearing face masks.
Masked agents operating without clear identification diminish transparency, they erode accountability, and they sow fear in our communities.
That second order also restricts federal immigration authorities from using city property for its operations. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump has said the city is run like a third world country and described it recently as a never-ending disaster. We've also reached out to Harrell's opponent, Katie Wilson, for comment. Portland's mayor is pushing back against federal demands. According to the Oregonian, Keith Wilson says the city will not build a permanent fence around the immigration office. Instead, he ordered police tape and barricades removed from the South Portland facility. He says council members were worried the barriers could fuel more protests. Those protests have been going on for months. They were small until President Trump announced plans to send troops. Now, Wilson says keeping the area blocked off could actually make tensions worse. An armed robbery in South Lake Union ended with 2 arrests Tuesday night. Seattle police say a man was attacked and robbed at gunpoint by a 20 to 24-year-old man. Shortly after, officers caught the suspects and seized a gun. Both are now facing robbery charges. And a welfare check led police in Bellevue to a cache of child porn. Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Bellevue police say they were called to do a welfare check on 78-year-old Richard Rowlett last Saturday. When they contacted him, they say they could see images of child sexual abuse on his desk, and he allegedly admitted he had large quantities, including much more in a storage unit. Here's Douglas Wagner with the King County Prosecutor's Office on the felony charges he faces.
One of possession of depictions of minors engaged in sexually explicit conduct, and another of viewing those depictions.
Police are asking anyone who may have had any interaction with Rowlett to call 911. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
It's now 7:38. Sully, what do you have coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to talk about the big-time delays coming down out of the north end and coming up the Valley Freeway, so we'll break it down for you next.
The Jake and Spike Show.
A couple.
Weekdays noon to 3.
That's not fair. A guy in a couple who ate dirt as a way to change the mojo for the Mariners. Kyle, in the video, it looks like you are mixing it with, I assume that's milk.
It was milk. I just thought, like, what would be the easiest thing to mix this with? I guess in the moment, maybe a beer would have been better.
Clearly it did work. I've posted plenty of TikToks before, and I've never had this happen before.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube.
Cancer impacts us all, and my family is no different. Mario Bailey here, former Washington Husky wide receiver. I learned firsthand what it's like to have family with the disease after my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute at UW-Medicine is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients undergoing these treatments have seen remarkable results with extended remissions and improved quality of life. And I'm thrilled to say patients who received cancer vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Donations to this institute are crucial in advancing this life-saving work. They fund vital research and clinical trials, ensuring that more lives are touched by hope and healing. I'm excited to share that Safeway is making it easy to donate on your next trip to get groceries. Please join me. Simply stop by any Safeway store, donate, and help ignite the immune system to end cancer. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Cold is beginning, rocks are moving, and mold is creeping, and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify a key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
7:43 now, time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. So what's the latest, Sully?
Well, we were starting to see things improve a little bit south of Linwood through Mount Lake Terrace. After we had two crashes in that general area, they're still over on the shoulder, but looking at a 90-minute drive now, Everett to Seattle. So we picked up about 10 minutes on the drive just in the last little bit, but still, I know that's terrible. That's about a 20-minute delay over what you might expect. The backup begins really just south of 128th, and that means if you're going down to Bellevue, you're going to have a little bit of a wait to get through down to 405, and then you hit the normal stuff the rest of the way. So that drive is probably about an hour and 15 minutes. There are also brake lights on I-5 down through Tulalip on westbound 2 and 204 approaching the east end of the trestle. So kind of a heavy day out of the north end. Looking at northbound I-5, still struggling as you make your way up the hill towards Highway 18. A lot of that is diversion from 167, so give yourself 25 to 30 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. And then that drive from Puyallup up to Renton is really running about an hour and 15 minutes, probably about a half an hour slower than you might expect. Looking at southbound I-5, really seeing brake lights coming down from Fife all the way through to the Puyallup River Bridge. That's because the off-ramp to Bay Street remains blocked. You can't get off there. This is a rollover crash that involves a potential DUI, so the State Patrol has that off-ramp closed, and this is a long-term investigation they're going to have there. Now, Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 10 minutes. Nothing out of the ordinary about that. Renton to Bellevue's running about 40. Looking at the lake bridges, they're still okay, though there is some eastbound slowing on 90 approaching 405, but that's normal at this time of day. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Best place to watch your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com.
Our forecast, you might see some sun breaks today. Otherwise, chance of showers at times and 61. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same, maybe a little bit cooler. Saturday looks like the wettest day of the week. We'll see rain at times and 59. Back to scattered showers and sun breaks by Sunday. Only 57 on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 53 degrees. It's now 7:45. All right, Taylor Swift's new album hasn't been out for a week yet, and it continues to hit new highs. KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard is here.
Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl, is already breaking the record for the most first-week sales of any album. That's a title previously held for nearly a decade by Adele for her 2015 album, 25. And with the hit album comes some bread. Last night, Taylor Swift stopped by NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers and gifted him some homemade sourdough.
Everybody's excited about the bread. The bread puns
have to stop.
Yeah, like this is great. I mean, again, like
No,
I got bread from Taylor Swift, but then it said, "Are you ready for this?"
Yeah.
And then, I mean,
yep.
The fate of Dophilia. But there's a moment.
Some of my best work.
So fun. Do you have a favorite song from her album yet, Manda?
I have a confession to make. I have a 14-year-old girl. You'd think I would be in a Swiftie household. I'm not. She's more Team Eilish. So I haven't heard any of the new Taylor stuff other than the bits you've played.
Okay, interesting. Cool.
I know Sully has picked out his favorite.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Of course.
And what's with the bread?
Oh, yeah, she's just very into baking sourdough bread. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Great.
Okay, thanks, Katrina. It's 7:46. Coming up, we're going to talk Mariners. How are you feeling heading into tomorrow's Game 5? Hit up the text line, 888-973-5476. We want to hear from you. We're getting through that loss together. 888-973-5476. Talking Mariners next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through October 19th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
That is exactly the music we needed, Nick. Thank you very much. Nice, upbeat and peppy. And it's 7:49. We're all recovering together after what happened yesterday in Detroit. Seattle Mariners are going to have to get it done in 5. They lost 9-3 to the Tigers yesterday in Game 4 of the American League Division Series. Pick up the action here in the 4th.
Swinging a ground ball, chopping over to the shortstop Baez. A little underhand flip to second on to first base. It is in time for the double play. It does score Naylor from third. The Mariners would have loved to get more. That's out number 2. First 2 outs of the inning, rather. And the Mariners now lead it 2-0.
That's when I started texting people, going, you guys, I think we're going to do it. Well,
yeah.
Those early innings did feel a little ominous. You know, load up the bases, get several runners on,
and then
like 1 run home, 1 run home.
In the 5th, the Mariners would make it 3-0, but then the Tigers would score 9 unanswered runs. So the series back to T-Mobile Park in Seattle for Game 5 tomorrow. First pitch 5:08. How are we feeling, everybody?
It's so funny because if they win on Friday night, which they have obviously as good a chance as ever.
Game.
1 game, and then they're in the ALCS. Everything is forgiven then, but it felt very dejecting. Not only that they lost yesterday, but in the fashion that they did, going up 3-0 and then 9 unanswered runs. I remember texting you guys after they tied it, and then they got a couple more runs. I think it was like 7-3, and I was like, we've got 3 innings, we can get 4 runs, and then of course they tacked on a couple more.
Yeah, I saw that as I was doing laundry.
And
moved on.
You really stopped watching?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I stopped watching right after the 5th because after the dam broke. And I think because we're all trained as Seattle sports fans to expect the worst. I think
isn't that horrible?
Earlier on the text line early this morning, someone, and I think this is so apropos, it's like Lucy holding the football. And we're Charlie Brown. We've missed that ball so many times.
Well, and the amount of times we've heard this season, like especially late in this season, like this is a different season. This isn't the same Mariners team that's going to disappoint you. And then for it to feel like in the first game of this series and now in this last game that, oh no, are they going to fail us? And it's like, no. Guys, I don't think they have no intention of failing us, and they're going to come out so hyped up.
Oh, totally.
The crowd's going to be absolutely electric. This is what it's all for. This is Game 5, and they're 2-0. The Seattle Mariners as an organization are 2-0 in Game 5s in the final game of a series. They can do this.
All right, Nick, have you reached acceptance yet?
Yes, I'm already thinking about Friday, and I can't help but be thinking of 1995 vibes right now. When you
Right?
think about the odds of the Mariners' chances to win when they were down 2-0 against the New York Yankees. Everybody counted that out. Lou Piniella got in the aisle. He got in the way of Rick
Aw,
Grizz,
sweet
and he
Lou.
said, we're winning this series, darn it. We're going to come back. We got Randy in Game 3. We're going to come back Game 4. Anything happens Game 5. This is the same kind of situation. We had David Cone on the mound 1995 Game 5. We ended up beating him on a walk-off double with Edgar Martinez. We've got the great Tarek Skubal on the mound this time Game 5. This is, and
That's okay.
David Cone was on multiple times in the 1995 series. It's almost a mirror image of what's happening. The stage is set. This is why you play the game. Cal Raleigh said it best. You know, this is why you go through the whole season. These are the moments that matter.
And did we really think the Tigers were going to like give up in their final chance at home in front of their crowd on a beautiful day, not in the rain delay anymore? Obviously, their fans were going to come out, be hyped. Now we got to go match that and do the exact same thing.
It's going to be fine.
I feel like we've helped each other through this morning, and we're in a good spot now.
Right. I mean, it's a one game winner take all. It's great.
If
I mean,
anyone can win one game, it's the Mariners.
You got to just bring it and focus on the positive. The past is done. Just go out there and just.
We're one of the best teams at home, too.
Yeah.
The fans are going to bring it. They're
Just
going to
get
help.
after it. Yeah.
I can't wait. Good for the economy. Good for Friday night fun. 5:08 tomorrow, T-Mobile Park. We're all feeling great. You can catch the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. It's 7:53. Right now, we need to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Take it away, Sully.
And we continue to struggle out of the north end with about an hour and a half trip from Everett into Seattle and about an hour and 20-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue because of two crashes we had earlier today. One at Mount Lake Terrace, the other one right at the Edmonds exit. And we're still backed up from about 128. So plan on big-time delays out of Snohomish County. 522 is also a little slow. So is 509. 204 westbound 2 getting to the trestle. I think it's because of the weather up there. Coming the other direction, we are definitely struggling on southbound I-5 getting through Fife down to the Puyallup River Bridge because the exit to Bay Street remains closed for a rollover crash. It's a long-term closure. You're going to lose about 8 minutes heading down the hill out of Fife, working your way into downtown Tacoma. Looking at northbound 167, about an hour and 15-minute trip for you guys, not only through the brake lights through Pacific, but also at the north end. It's kind of heavy there, too. 35 to 40 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Lake Bridges, not bad. Just the normal stuff westbound, the normal stuff eastbound on I-90. So all in all, we're doing okay, but coming down out of the north end is not going to be fun. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Tired of uneven heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance will give you room-by-room control, serious savings. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Our forecast, you might see some showers at times, but also some sun breaks. 61, nothing too threatening for the next couple of days. Looks like Saturday is going to be the wettest day of the weekend, 59. Only a high of 57 on Sunday, but we'll get back to some sun breaks and just scattered showers. It's cloudy and 53 in Seattle right now. And coming up, Seattle City Council member Bob Kettle will join us to talk about the government shutdown and much more. That's on the way at 8:15. Our inbox is always open for your news, tips, and story ideas at mynorthwest.com. You can also contact the show by texting us, 888-973-5476. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO-FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Oh, hey, remember those yodelers we met in the Alps? I wired them euros from the bank, and they sent me their yodels in a can.
You wired money for canned yodels? That is so dumb. Banks are slow, and they hide fees and overseas transfers and exchange rates.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
If you're gonna send money to Europe, just use Wise. Wise is super fast and never hides fees.
Smart.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
This October, the Harnish Auto family is partnering up with Mobile Mammo Northwest in the fight against breast cancer. Mobile Mammo Northwest provides accessible mammograms to women across the Puget Sound, bringing early detection and care to those who need it most. For every test drive taken at a Harnish Auto Family dealership, we will donate on your behalf. Join us in supporting Mobile Memo Northwest at the Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA Home Loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The next move is up to Israel's cabinet now that all sides have agreed to the first phase of the Gaza peace plan. CBS's Haley Ott is in Tel Aviv.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is going to meet with his cabinet and government later today. After that government meeting is when a 24-hour clock will begin for Israel to retreat to an agreed line that is still within Gaza. Then a 72-hour period will begin for Hamas, during which it will be required to release all of the hostages.
CBS's Aaron Navarro in Washington.
We're hearing from several administration sources that one turning point that led to this deal were the Israeli strikes on Doha. That was something that President Trump disagreed with and at one point put pressure on Netanyahu, and during an in-person meeting at the White House had him talk to the leaders of Qatar and apologize for those strikes. Administration sources say that that moment created, quote, positive opportunity and led to maximum pressure from President Trump on both sides to get this deal done.
Well, CBS's Ian Lee is outside Chicago at an ICE facility that's been the scene of protests as a court considers the federal use of the National Guard.
There are some National Guard troops who are walking around. Earlier this week, they were about 50 miles south of Chicago overnight. They were brought up here. We haven't seen them really do much other than that. We are told, though, that the National Guard, the federal government is saying is here as a supportive role for law enforcement.
And CBS's Meg Oliver says country singer Zach Bryan is responding to the backlash from his unreleased song that's critical of ICE.
Bryan, a U.S. Navy veteran, took to Instagram the same day, saying he wrote that news months ago, and anyone who uses it as a weapon is only proving how devastatingly divided we all are. Adding, to be clear, I'm on neither of these radical sides.
A Texas court has paused the execution of Robert Robertson, who's proclaimed innocence in a shaken baby syndrome case involving his 2-year-old daughter. Some medical experts insist she did not die from abuse. Detroit police say a teenager stabbed a classmate at school and the child's mother's under arrest.
When the mother and her 14-year-old daughter entered Gompers Elementary Middle School yesterday, the school's metal detector went off, but a security guard didn't search them. Police say the mother then gave her daughter a small knife, which she used to stab a classmate she had been feuding with. Charles York lives near the school.
If the parent gave that child that knife to go do that, she need to be locked up.
Both mother and daughter were arrested. The victim was released from the hospital. The security guard could be fired. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The Dow is down 150. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
It's 8:03 and time to check your Thursday drive. Once again, we do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan.
And we are opening the 8 o'clock hour the same way we closed the last hour with a 25 to 30-minute delay out of the north end. The drive out of Snohomish County is going to be pretty rough this morning. We had 2 crashes along the way on I-5 that really kind of backed us up. The first one was right at the Edmonds exit. The other one was just before 220th. And so we have off and on braking from 128th all the way down. And then you have the normal stuff really heavy on 405. So give yourself an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Those are, again, about 20-minute delays. Northbound I-5 is seeing some brake lights up the Fife Hill, but it's manageable. 25 to 28 minutes to go from Tacoma to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle's a little over an hour. Now, the southbound slowing on I-5 is really unusual, going from Fife across the Puyallup River Bridge, and that's because Bay Street, the off-ramp there, is closed for a crash investigation, suspected DUI involved in a rollover there, so with significant injuries. So that's why it's closed. Looking at northbound 167, still struggling through Pacific and at the north end part of that drive. Hour and 15 for you. Rented to Bellevue is about 40 minutes. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton, the National Red Tag Sales event going on now through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community near you. drhorton.com, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Good morning. It is 8:04. It's Seattle's Morning News for Thursday, October 9th. Glad to have you with us. Well, it's win or go home for the Mariners. Seattle will host Game 5 of the American League Division Series right here at home tomorrow. They came up short of clinching against Detroit. It was a tough loss, but the series is not over yet. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with a preview of the do-or-die matchup.
You know, we're just 33 hours away from first pitch of what could be, really, the greatest Mariners game of all time. We could be setting up for greatness.
Are we starting to count again already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yesterday in Game 4, of course, the Mariners were up 3-0 leading into the 5th inning after Cal Raleigh drove in Randy Arozarena.
Just a walk in the park for Randy. He steps on top of home plate. Cal Raleigh drives in another run for the Mariners today.
But it took just 8 minutes, really, for the Tigers to take the lead, and they wouldn't give it back. First pitch on Friday is 5:08 at T-Mobile Park. There are great seats available on the resale market, folks. On SeatGeek, the lowest, best ticket you're going to find, around $225 for a single ticket in the upper deck. This is also great for all those businesses in the SoDo district. Of course, they get a bonus day for sales. That's great news. You know, fans tell KIRO 7 TV this morning they can't wait.
It'll mean a lot. I mean, it's just such a good memory, and I don't know. It's just going to be so fun.
And the Mariners will face the Tigers' ace, Tarek Skubal. The Mariners haven't named their starters yet, but it could be either George Kirby or Luis Castillo, I should say, excuse me. All right, let's talk about our feelings a little bit. Sully, you want to talk about our feelings?
Talk about your feelings,
I never
Sully.
like talking about my feelings.
I know.
But I say let's go.
Let's go.
I want to talk about. Let's go now. Forget about it. Go.
You know, we all have our superstitions around it. Sully, you never wear Mariners gear leading into the game for good luck. Luke, you took off your hat and jersey that you were wearing yesterday, which now had some bad luck addressed to it. How are you guys watching tomorrow? Like, what is your kind of game plan leading up to the game to set the team up in this ridiculous, woo-woo, superstitious way, how are you guys setting up the team for success in your mind?
I don't have tickets, but I kind of just want to be in SoDo for the moment the place explodes when they win.
Totally.
Right?
I got to decide whether I got to, be a fan tomorrow or I can work. I've got access. I can go work.
But then you can't cheer in the press box.
Sitting in the press box is the worst thing in the world because you can't cheer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. We were a little angry and depressed this morning of the loss. I think we've all accepted that, right? But I have a feeling we're also going to, and I'm going to waste a lot of time here, David. I'm just letting you know right now. I have a feeling we're going to see a moment tomorrow like the hit that sent the Mariners to the ALCS in 1995.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior Speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on the line, down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here's Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues.
You gotta believe.
I don't know if I can take an 11-inning game like that one
in the world. But are you ready for tomorrow? Can I get you hyped? Are you ready for tomorrow?
I'm hyped.
Are you ready?
I'm already
Are you ready?
hyped.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, then let's go. Let's do this. Go Mariners.
All right, Luke. First pitch, 5:08 T-Mobile. You can hear all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
Seattle's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
It is 8:08 this Thursday, October 9th. Charlie Harger has the rest of the week off on Manda Factor. Sully is here. Producer David Burbank, too. Katrina Gishard is at the news desk, and Nick Kreisha is in the control room running the board. Coming up this hour of the show, Seattle City Council member Bob Kettle will join us to talk about the government shutdown, National Guard troops in Democratic cities, among other things. And G. Scott's going to join us later in the show. He actually blames himself for yesterday's Mariners loss, and he'll explain why. At 8:09, Seattle police are investigating a shooting in South Seattle. This happened just after 11 o'clock last night near South Winthrop Street and Chesty Boulevard. Officers found a 40-year-old man with serious injuries to his head and face. Seattle Fire treated him at the scene and took him to Harborview. Police collected the evidence and took photos, and right now they do not have a suspect. If you know anything, detectives would like you to give them a call. The mayor of Auburn is responding to convicted serial rapist moving to her city. We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
Mayor Nancy Backus is talking about rapist Kevin Coe.
I'm furious already because it's in our city. But to have that additional fear of harm to a loved one is just beyond fathoming. And whatever we can legally do to correct that, we're going to do.
Last week when he was released, we were told he was headed to Federal Way, a place where the city knew he was coming, and a notification campaign was done. But we're now told by the King County Sheriff's Office, after pushback from that community, they chose to move him to Auburn.
Seattle police arrested an intoxicated man following a dangerous situation at Seattle World School. We get more on this from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Police say the man was walking his two dogs just before 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when, for reasons unknown, he pushed his way past a security guard at the school. When he was forced to leave, he allegedly pulled a gun on a teenager. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Part of the investigation to determine whether or not he was armed while he went inside of the school, but we do know that he left the school shortly after, pointed a gun at that kid. So yes, this is a very dangerous situation.
The 60-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of burglary and felony harassment of a teen. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A 29-year-old Auburn man accused of breaking into the state capitol building has now been charged. Sunday night, prosecutors say troopers found Gunnar Schubert climbing out a window, but not before he did significant damage. Here's Trooper Jermaine Walker.
Statues being overturned, rugs and flags being burned, glass being broken. So the damage was fairly significant.
Troopers say the incident wasn't politically motivated and may be linked to mental health issues. Sherbert was arrested at the scene, released on his own recognizance, and he's due back in court tomorrow. King County is speeding things up in the courtroom. Prosecuting attorney Lisa Mannion says her office will now decide on charges within 30 days. That's for adult felonies in any case involving a juvenile suspect. The new rule kicked in October 1st. Douglas Wagoner, a spokesperson for the office, says cases get harder to prove the longer they sit. He says quicker decisions help victims and suspects know what's coming, and research shows it might even stop future crimes. Attorney General Nick Brown is taking a stand against what he calls illegal federal overreach. Brown and now 23 other state leaders have filed a brief opposing President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Portland. This week, A.G. Brown told Seattle's Morning News.
Well, I think it's kind of laughable. I mean, I was watching the coverage of the Portland Marathon this weekend, which happened on Sunday, as thousands of people ran throughout the city. It did not look like a war-torn city. It has not looked like a war-torn city in its entire history.
An Oregon federal judge has temporarily blocked the deployment. Today, the judge is expected to decide whether the Trump administration has the authority to deploy National Guard troops to Chicago. And it was a special homecoming for a homegrown music star. Benson Boone, the singer who boldly left American Idol mid-season to launch his career as a singer-songwriter, is from Monroe. He played a packed show at Climate Pledge on Sunday, and Monday he stopped by his alma mater, Monroe High School. The district posted pictures of Boone with his old teachers and signing autographs for current students. The post read, "Once a Bearcat, always a Bearcat." It's 8:12, and that's time for a check on the weather. It is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Look for a mix of clouds and sunshine and showers for today. 61 the high. Tomorrow, Friday, looks pretty much the same. Roof will be closed at T-Mobile probably. For Saturday, rain at times and 59. And then Sunday, back to a few sun breaks, but still scattered showers in the forecast for Sunday. A high of only 57. Right now, it's 53 and cloudy in Seattle, and it's 8:13. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
And it is still a struggle today out there. A typical Thursday in most places, a little bit behind in others. Primarily if you're coming down from the north end. We've got about a 10-minute delay working your way from Arlington down into Everett. That's just with the brake lights around Tulalip. We also have some rain showers up in that area causing, a little bit of slowing, but nothing you can't handle. Then you got about an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. That drive about 15 to 20 minutes behind schedule over what you thought. So just plan on heavy delays away from Linwood. Looking at northbound I-5 from Federal Way to Seattle, about an average hour and 10-minute trip with 40 of those minutes from South Center. Last couple of miles past the Boeing Field area and the West Seattle Bridge are kind of normal. Rented to Bellevue, about 40 minutes. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, definite spillover to one from 167 from 180th on in. You add that to the lane restrictions past that bridge strike in Pacific, and we've got about an hour and 5-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. Northbound I-5, not too bad now through the Fife area, up the hill to 18. Need about 25 minutes to Federal Way. But southbound I-5 has got about a 10 or 12-minute delay getting through Tacoma because of this crash that continues to have Bay Street, the off-ramp to Bay Street, blocked in the southbound direction. This is for a police investigation, suspected DUI and injuries involved with a rollover. So that's why it's taking this amount of time to do all that detective work there and clear the scene. Across the lake, though, we're doing okay. So all in all, mixed bag. This report brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811. To avoid dangers or costly damage, call 811 or submit online, digsafewa.com.
It's 8:14. Next year marks a major milestone for one young wizard. Here's KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard.
November 2026 marks 25 years since Harry Potter made his big screen debut.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard. And a thumping good, I'd wager, once you trade up a little.
And to mark the milestone, Warner Brothers is launching a year-long celebration, including plans to re-release the first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, in theaters next fall. The franchise, of course, launched the careers of Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson. Not to mention it earned nearly $8 billion in the box office. The 25th anniversary is next November.
He sounded so young in that clip.
Yeah.
Fall is always when my wife and I will do our rewatch of all 8 of them. And now that we have our daughter, I'm so excited to read her the books
right.
when she's old
enough. Love them. All right. Thanks, Katrina. It's 8:15.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, a government shutdown, a battle over National Guard troops in our neighboring city of Portland, as Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell signs an executive order protecting communities in the city from what he calls unlawful federal troop deployment. That order signed alongside members of the Seattle City Council, including Councilmember Bob Kettle, who joins us once again here on Seattle's Morning News. Good morning, Councilmember Kettle.
Good morning, and good to see you again.
Nice to have you with us. Let's start with the executive order from the mayor. What all is included in it, and how's the city council involved?
Well, I have them both actually with me right now. I know we're on radio, but for those on YouTube, I do have them right in front of me. And basically, it's about organizing our city, and doing due diligence, and as I used to say, contingency planning, con planning. There's really two parts. One is the related to the immigrant and refugee community, and then the second one is related to the National Guard, and that's one that both of them we're going to be overall as a council engaging with, but from a public safety side, like the area that I work, I'll be working those pieces specifically.
Can you give any more details?
Well, they're looking, part of this is organizing, basically getting the word out to the communities that are involved in terms of immigration and refugee communities. So part of that is the engagement, know your rights and all those pieces. And then there's a second piece related to, federal law enforcement and how to engage with federal law enforcement, how to deconflict and so forth. The hard part here is that there's been basically zero communication from the federal government, and that makes it harder. And I suspect there will be no communication if indeed, there was to be some increased federal law enforcement or National Guard action here in Seattle.
What do you make of the president saying things like Seattle and Portland are cities on fire and a disaster?
Well, I've got three main things, and this is one of them. Basically, we're being gaslit. 2003, 2004, I lived in Baghdad. I understand where war zone is, with the mortars coming in and artillery shells and, VBIDs and the like, explosions all the time. That's not what we have here. Do we have our challenges in public safety with disorder and the like? Yes. But basically, it's gaslighting, and it's frustrating because we are taking such strong actions here in Seattle. I have a list in front of me that, we're nearly 30 pieces of legislation related to public safety. We're really changing the dynamic. We're increasing the staffing of the Seattle Police Department. We're out from the consent decree, which shows the work that was done there. So we're taking all these actions that are basically put us on the right path compared to where we were 5 years ago and the poor decisions that were made in the city at that time. And so, part of me feels like, hey, we're moving in this new direction. We have the issues from our past, but then I'm getting it from the right too, from the federal government, which is really unfortunate because at the end of the day, I think it's gaslighting.
We know the Seattle Police Department has been stretched very thin over the past several years. What is staffing like at this point?
Well, it's improving. We're net. We're going to be over 100 net by the end of the year. And so it's improving. And what it allows for, by the way, Amanda, is that we now have a second bike team in Belltown. So that goes to the points. We have these areas of disorder. And so we're working with West Precinct, for example. I engage on behalf of my constituents, but also as the committee chair. And so we're bringing these new officers on board. And that over time allows different things like bringing a second bike team. And that's really important in terms of engaging the drug market. So that's where it's making a difference in terms of, how we've been and where we're moving towards as a city.
There are some people who say crime is out of control in Seattle. Wouldn't federal troops help? Is there any circumstance under which you would back that up?
Two things on this point, Amanda. One is if you're going to get federal law enforcement support, we need DEA. We need the Drug Enforcement Agency. We need ATF, the Agency for Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. That's what we need. We need the FBI. And what we need is intersecting, the guns and the drugs that are coming up the I-5 corridor across state lines or across 90 and the like. These are the things that we need from the federal government. And when it comes to the National Guard, and this is quite personal to me, the military is for our nation. It is for red, white, and blue America. And when it's being used in essentially a partisan way, because we are being gaslit, partisan way, what that means is it's being kind of co-opted into a political, and essentially a performative way. And so, but our military is not for red state America or red county America. It's not for blue state America or blue county America. It's for the red, white, and blue of America. And if we undercut that idea by employing it in such a manner, that's going to have negative consequences long term. And as a veteran, that's very, very concerning to me.
Talking with Seattle City Council member Bob Kettle, I want to switch gears and talk about the government shutdown. Lawmakers in D.C., no one's budging on talks to fund the government. How is this affecting the city of Seattle now?
Well, it's going to start affecting, for one thing, let's start with the federal employees. These people work hard across the board. It's not just the Jackson building. I recently got my passport renewed. There's that there on Fifth Avenue. So there's those people, and they've lost they're basically furloughed and potentially may lose their jobs. So that has an impact in terms of traffic downtown, spending downtown. You have all those pieces. And then one of the big areas is in terms of travel. For Seattleites who want to go somewhere with the shutdown, that impacts what's happening with TSA and our air system and air traffic system. And so, that is really important for us in terms of, the impacts that separately there's other areas too, but those are two, good examples.
Is there something the council can actually do to help prevent some of that fallout?
Well, we are, as part of the budget process, we have our new B&O tax, which does have an element of basically creating a fund to backstop any federal shortfalls. And the way I look at that could be in terms of, FEMA. People don't think about it, but we get a lot of grants from FEMA. And if this gets shut down, and with the actions of the federal government, we may lose all that funding. So we have backstops for that, but it's also for the human services side, for different food programs and housing programs. Housing is another area where, there's different monies that come through. And if that gets cut, that's going to have a major impact us on long term in terms of the combination of the shutdown plus actions being taken before and after and during, and maybe taking advantage of the shutdown as well.
All right. Just about out of time, but two more things. One, kudos for being prepared with your documents to be shown on YouTube, because not everyone knows that we do the show live on YouTube too. So good job. And here on Seattle's Morning News, we've kind of been all counseling each other this morning. How are you feeling about Game 5 tomorrow at home, 5:06 first pitch? Are the Mariners going to get her done?
I believe so. And by the way, I was watching Attorney General Brown talking about having the angst of doing the ceremonial first pitch, and he's done it twice. Well, yours truly has done it once earlier this year during the Red Sox series in June, and so right now we need the Mariners, again for YouTube. We need the Mariners to take on the Blue Jays and ALCS and make it to the World Series.
Excellent. I'll be wearing my garb tomorrow. Go Mariners. We really appreciate your time as always. Come back anytime, okay?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to the issues.
All right. Councilmember Bob Kettle, we appreciate it. It's 8:23. We need to get along to traffic now. We do that every 10 minutes, and Chris Sullivan is watching things.
And I'm keeping my eyes in Fife now, both directions of I-5. I'm going to start with the southbound direction, which has about a 15-minute delay. We're backed up halfway down the hill from 18 all the way to Bay Street. That's where the off-ramp remains blocked for the southbound direction because of a suspected DUI crash that still has an investigation going on there. But in the northbound direction, we now have a crash involving a couple of different cars approaching 70th there in the left-hand side of the freeway there, not the HOV lane, but the left general purpose lane. So we're losing a couple of minutes right there. So just be prepared to kind of come to an all stop northbound as you work your way past the Puyallup River Bridge. And then you have a Federal Way to Seattle drive of about an hour and 15 minutes. Nothing unusual about that. Northbound 167, Puyallup to Renton, running a little over an hour now. You're getting through that backup in about 15 minutes now getting into Pacific. Over 40 minutes now from Renton to Bellevue. The brake lights are heavy up through 44th, then a little bit over the top of I-90 into downtown. Coming down from the north end, still a struggle from 164th all the way down, well through Linwood and Mount Lake Terrace and all the way through 522. Hour and a half from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. The lake bridges are manageable. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the best place, the entertainment capital of the Northwest, which is the best place to watch your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com.
Our forecast, you will likely see some showers at times for today, but some peaks of sunshine too. 61 the high, pretty much the same for your Friday tomorrow. Saturday looks like it might get a little wet. Rain at times and 59, but back to some sun breaks and scattered showers on Sunday. Right now, cloudy skies and 53 in Seattle. Sully, you have another choke point coming up.
Yep, we're going to take a look at the return of Revive I-5 and whether or not it will get in the way of Game 5.
Also on the way, G. Scott is going to tell us why he is to blame for the Mariners' loss. That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
As things escalate in Portland,
it looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next?
It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business.
It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Naturalists from Puget Sound Express report that their tours have been spending a lot of time near Race Rock's Ecological Preserve near Victoria, BC, watching large groupings of humpback whales. Also in the area is a famous orca known as Nielsen. T49C is a large male who often travels solo. A fun fact, Nielsen was born in 1998 and for years was called Janet after a humpback whale researcher named Janet Nielsen. Once researchers determined that he was male, its name was switched to Nielsen. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale-watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning. It's 8:31. Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan, starting with the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli forces. CBS News reporter Robert Berger says many in Israel see the U.S. and President Trump as the reason the deal was able to be reached.
This wouldn't have happened without Steve Witkoff, Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. They came up with this 20-point plan and President Trump was able to get all the Arab states on board, or at least many of them. And that's what pushed Hamas over the finish line.
The Seattle School District has voted down a proposal to bring police officers back to Garfield High School. The school board rejected the program in a 5-2 vote. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more live on that decision and what comes next.
Yeah, if this had passed, this would have reintroduced one officer called a school engagement officer who would have focused on crime prevention, but also building relationships inside the school. Here was that final vote last night.
President Topp?
No.
This motion has failed with a vote of 2 yeses and 5 noes.
But right after the vote, listen to this. This was board director Gina Topp. Listen to the comment she made to the rest of the board.
This is not an easy topic. I think that there's more work to be done here. And I am looking at a vote here where we have 2 of the longest serving board directors voting yes. And that hits in a different way.
So obviously this has been a controversial topic, obviously between board members, but as well as the Garfield community. It was punctuated, you'll remember, after the shooting death of Garfield student Amar Murphy Payne just last year. There's still no suspect in that case. A lot of parents think a police officer, though, would be a powerful deterrent. Last night, other parents voiced concerns.
And for someone to just come in like that's going to make it, I'm not going back to that school.
And Amanda, as you just heard from the school board, they do agree on one thing, that more work needs to be done when it comes to school safety.
All right, thanks, Luke. There was a frightening incident at a Seattle high school that led to the arrest of a 60-year-old man. Police say the suspect forced his way into the school on East Union Street Tuesday, assaulted a security guard, and later confronted 2 teenagers nearby, armed with both a knife and a gun. One teen was grabbed by the neck and threatened before escaping and calling 911. Charlene Stahl spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
They could scar those kids for life.
Officers later arrested the man at his home, where they recovered 2 firearms. He is facing several charges. It's 8:33, and that's time to check traffic once again. We do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan, what's on your mind?
Well, we've got big problems down in the Fife-Tacoma area in both directions of I-5. I'm going to start with the northbound direction where we had the left lane blocked just a few minutes ago. Now the fire department, all the ambulances, everyone's shown up. The HOV lane and now 2 left lanes are blocked. So 3 out of the 5 lanes are now blocked in the northbound direction, right as you're getting towards 70th. So plan on big time delays getting out of Tacoma heading northbound on I-5. What's happening southbound is we have the closure of Bay Street, that off-ramp there from southbound 5 for a crash investigation, and that means a lot of people are going other places. They normally take that ramp, and we have a significant backup of about 15 minutes coming down the hill out of Federal Way. So that general area corner of our map is not pleasant. Looking at the Valley Freeway, about an hour from end to end, and then Renton to Bellevue is running right around 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 15 with 45 of that from South Center. And out of the north end, still about an hour and 25-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Very heavy brake lights getting into and through the Linwood area. The Lake Bridges, though, are okay. This report brought to you by D.R. Horton, the National Red Tag Sales event going on now through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today or drhorton.com. America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
You might get a little wet today. We do have a chance of scattered showers, 61, but some sun breaks too. Tomorrow looks pretty much the same, a little bit cooler. Saturday, pretty steady rain at times, a high of 59. But then we'll get back to some sun breaks by Sunday with scattered showers, and only 57 are high on Sunday. Right now in Seattle, still cloudy and 53.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
It's It's 8:36. Well, you survived what Sully referred to fondly as the month of hell when northbound I-5 was reduced to 2 lanes over the summer. Well, Revive I-5 is back for another 6 weekends of work, and you are here with all the details.
Yep, the first of 6 weekend projects in the southbound direction of the I-5 Ship Canal Bridge are starting this weekend. And you might remember during that month of hell, workers replaced 5 expansion joints, installed 94 new drains. They also resurfaced about 900 feet of the bridge deck. This time along, WashDOT's Tom Pierce says the focus is going to be on the drainage system.
We need weekend-long closures to do this work because we have to get in there. We've got to saw cut out the old drain. We've got to put in the new. We've got to pour the concrete. And we need a couple of lanes just so we have a good, safe work zone for the workers.
The lane reductions will start about the U District and extend south to the 520 interchange. Those lane reductions will normally start around 10 p.m. on Friday nights, but there is a Husky game in Montlake this Friday. So WashDOT's Pierce says that the work won't start until after the game.
The Huskies play on Friday night, and our contractor actually is going to start work a little bit later on Friday night, an hour or maybe 2 later than they normally would on a Friday night, just to allow the traffic to clear Husky Stadium.
And this shouldn't have any impact on you getting to or from T-Mobile for Game 5 tomorrow. 2 lanes will remain closed from Friday night through early Monday morning. There are 3 weekend projects this month, one in each in November, December, and January. The entire schedule is up at mynorthwest.com. Right now, no Hawks or Husky games are on those weekends. I'm not sure what the schedule will look like for the ALCS and the World Series.
No jinxing.
No, I know. Now this
That's not wood, Chris. So knocking on it doesn't do anything.
Can I knock on my forehead? Does that count? So that's the situation there. This will also impact your use of the express lanes.
We're also going to have the express lanes open southbound 24 hours a day during this work. That's going to provide a good alternative for people who are headed south of downtown.
So no switching of the express lanes this weekend. Pierce says the contractor that did the work in July and August is back for this series of closures, which means they should be a little bit better at getting the job done.
Anytime you do road work, you're going to learn things that you can apply to future work. So our contractor did pick up some things that are going to help them work more efficiently as they replace the drains.
And for future planning, and I'm talking years down the road here, we need to just be prepared that what we dealt with this year is really only the tip of the iceberg, even with that month-long series of closures, because northbound I-5 across the Ship Canal Bridge will be down to just 2 lanes for 2 4-month-long projects next year, taking a break only for the World Cup in June. And then in 2027, southbound I-5 across the bridge will be reduced to just 2 lanes for 8 straight months.
Fun.
So the next couple of years in and around the Ship Canal Bridge is not going to be easy.
Well, thank you for the heads up. And you mentioned a little baseball game going down in Soto tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get ready. It is do or die for the Mariners. They're going to take on the Tigers. It's the final 5th game of the American League Division Series tomorrow. If you don't have tickets, we've been checking around, so you can go to the resale sites. The cheapest we've been able to find this morning are going for more than $200. It's 8:39. Sully, what are you watching right now?
Well, I got to keep our eyes focused intently on Fife and Tacoma. We'll break down what's happening in both north and southbound 5 in the area.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
weekdays 3 to 7,
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rureka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
It's 8:43, time for another check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. So what do you have, Sully?
Well, it's been a pretty active day in the Tacoma-Fife area for both directions of I-5. I'm going to start with northbound I-5, which has the more severe of the accidents. This one is blocking the HOV lane and 2 left general purpose lanes as you go right to 70th, going northbound on I-5. There isn't a lot of action, there isn't a lot of volume there right now. A lot of it's already gone through, but either way, it's a pretty solid backup that goes back to the Puyallup River Bridge, and we've got about a 10-minute delay through the area. What's going on southbound is the exit to Bay Street remains blocked for a DUI crash investigation. And so people are seeing, you can't get off at your normal spots. You have to go somewhere, turn around. And we're looking at a backup that extends all the way up to Wild Waves. And that's also because there's a stall in that backup blocking the right lane. So you're losing about 15 minutes going from Federal Way down into Tacoma. The rest of the map looks about average for Thursday, other than the lane reductions through Pacific, which still gives us about an hour drive up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's a little over 40. Federal Way to Seattle's about an hour and 10 minutes, with 45 of those minutes from South Center. So those last couple of miles are difficult. But the Lake Bridges, okay. Westbound 90 starting to pick up a little bit of action across the water towards the Mount Baker Tunnel. Coming down from the north end, still hour and 20-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, which is the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Best place to watch your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there at emeraldqueen.com.
For today and tomorrow, we have a chance of scattered showers, but also some sun breaks and highs around 60. Saturday looks like it'll be pretty wet, rain at times in 59, and then back to some sun breaks and showers by Sunday. Right now, cloudy and 53 in Seattle. It's 8:45, and the boss just revealed he picked the star of The Bear for his upcoming biopic without hesitation. We get more from KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard.
Later this month, Jeremy Allen White is set to take the big screen as Bruce Springsteen in the movie Deliver Me from Nowhere. In a new behind-the-scenes sneak peek, the boss talks about the decision to cast White as the leading role.
The minute they said film and somebody was going to have to portray me, I immediately thought of Jeremy. There was some sort of physical resemblance, some sort of the way he carried himself And then there was the way the camera read his internal life. That was really essential. I just said, this is the guy. I didn't have number 2.
Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere comes out October 24th.
Then they can do a sequel called The Boss and the Bear.
Oh, I love that.
I was going to say, the confidence to be like, someone that resembles me is one of the most handsome actors out there right now.
All right, look forward to it. Thanks, Katrina. Hey, the Seahawks season is underway. We want to send you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks game Monday, October 20th. All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how, and if you don't have the app, simply text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, October 13th. Well, coming up, G. Scott is going to stop by and tell us why he is to blame for yesterday's Mariners loss. That's next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at ProSculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Seattle's Morning News. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
It is 8:49. Joining us now from the G and Ursula Show, which you can hear from 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio, and the host of the Reset podcast, one and only G. Scott.
Hey.
So,
good morning, everybody.
This morning, you texted producer David, and you said about the Mariners' loss, I blame myself. And I'm so glad because I've been looking for someone to blame. So explain.
Yeah. Now, there's someone listening that when it comes to baseball, you don't have any type of superstition. I get it. There are some that really have superstition when it comes to baseball. I don't know what it is about baseball that brings it out. So here's where I messed up yesterday.
What did you do, G?
So I went to school grew up with a buddy of mine. He is from Detroit. He lives in Detroit. He's Detroit everything. Before the series, he calls me up. He says, all right, let's go. We got a bet on this. Okay. I said, what you got? He says, all right, here's what happens. If the Tigers win, you send me $100, and you have to go and buy a Tigers hat and T-shirt and get online and say, Go Tigers. Now, if the Mariners win, I send you $100, and I got to buy a Mariners hat and a T-shirt, and I got to go say online, "Go Mariners."
Okay.
Fair. We have not said anything this entire season. After game 1, we didn't say anything. Game 2, we didn't say anything. Game 3, we didn't say anything.
You talked to him yesterday.
Hold on.
3-0, and you're like,
on. Wait a minute.
hey.
Wait a minute. I
You
got
were
the
gonna
text.
trash talk
Sully, you
him.
sit next to me. Sully. You want to see it? What time does that say? What time does that say yesterday? 1:41 p.m.
1:41 p.m.
I send him my Venmo at 1:41.
Gee.
And then at 1:49, I text and said, "Damn, did I send this too soon?"
The answer is yes. You jinxed us. I agree. It's totally your
Hey, man.
fault.
You can still. still give it to them. They just got to win on Friday.
I was so mad at myself. Yes, they can win on Friday. And I don't know if anybody watched The Wire. If you know, you know. They used to say this thing, Omar coming. And when Omar's coming, the Detroit Tigers have a pitcher. And their pitcher is pretty good.
That's okay.
Oh, the
We've
guy
got
that we're
his
3-0 against?
Yeah, we have his number.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you know who needs to step up? Who's been stepping up the whole series? Let's be clear. Mr. October. Julio!
So again, the thing is that I think that what happened is in game 3, we all enjoyed it. We got comfortable. And then yesterday started out, and I started to, it reminds me of when we play the lottery or the lotto ticket. The fun in that is what you're going to do. If you're going to work the next day, where you going to go, who you going to tell about it. You start to think about all the stuff that you're going to do once you win. I made a mistake yesterday. I was already thinking about, man, I bet the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win. They're going to beat the Yankees. Where am I going to be next week? I was already planning my week.
None of this matters because it's down to one game.
And I didn't want this.
And
that's
it's so
okay.
funny, right?
The Mariners can win one game.
It's so funny because the final 2 months of the season, the Mariners were like the hottest team in baseball. Detroit became like the worst team in baseball. They gave up a 15.5 game lead in their division. But you get into the postseason, none of it matters.
Different.
And you get to game 5, none of the past 4 games matters either. It all comes down to
So what I'm
Friday.
saying is, Manda and David, I don't do pressure well. I don't want to be in a game 5. That's the thing.
Are you going to watch?
Yes, but
It's going to be painful.
man, it's going to be painful. So anyway, let's go Mariners. Let's get it done tomorrow. We can celebrate. We can have a great Friday and a great weekend. And then the Seahawks play against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're going to go get that win. So all life is good.
Take your blood pressure medicine.
I like that sweater you're wearing, Amanda.
Oh, thank you. You like my flowers?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I love sweater weather.
All right. Omar coming.
All right. G and Ursula coming up 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio. We need to check traffic again, Sully.
And most of my attention remains down in the Tacoma and Fife area, both directions of I-5, experiencing some significant delays. I'm going to start with northbound 5, which has this crash blocking the HOV lane and 2 left general purpose lanes. So 3 out of 5 lanes are blocked. Fortunately, there isn't a lot of volume there at this particular moment in the morning, so the backup is manageable. It's only about a 12-minute delay. Southbound I-5 should be getting better soon because I'm getting reports from the State Patrol that they should be wrapping up their investigation and opening up the off-ramp to Bay Street, which has been closed all morning. Once you get through that, going up Federal Way to Seattle, it's running about an hour and 10 minutes. Normal drive for you guys. We're back under an hour from Puyallup up to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes. The lake bridges are both doing okay, and we're about an hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. I think we've kind of hit the high tide mark, so let's try to keep that going. This report brought to you by the Harnish Auto Family. Harnish Auto Family this month partnering with Mobile Memo Northwest. For every test drive you take, we'll make a donation on your behalf. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
Our forecast, you will likely see some showers at times for today, but also some sun breaks. Not bad. We'll head for a high of 61 today. Pretty much the same for tomorrow, albeit a little bit cooler. Roof will be closed for sure. Yeah, probably will be closed tomorrow. Nothing's for sure these days. Saturday, we'll see some rain at times and a high of 59. Right now, it's 54 in Seattle. And coming up on the G and Ursula show, Pierce County looking to implement a universal basic income program. How do you feel about that? This is KIRO News Radio.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
What burning questions do you have? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text Choke Points to 888-973-5476.
Tuesdays and Thursdays on Seattle's Morning News. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
You can count on the Seattle Times for trusted local news and information. The Seattle Times is one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country right here in the Pacific Northwest. Take a closer look with the Seattle Times. Dig into investigative journalism that holds those in power accountable. Discover a new perspective. Gain a deeper understanding. Learn something new about where we live. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletime.com/subscribe.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Cancers impact so many, but there's hope because the UW Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing ways to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Learn more at uwcvi.org about patients who received treatment 20 years ago that are healthy today. You can help by donating to fight at your local Safeway.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma.